Are we ready for Pathfinder? I certainly am. Alright, let me see. Let's make sure we get everything set up just the way it needs to be. Also gotta clear all the notifications on my phone because otherwise they will drive me crazy. I'm one of those people where you will never see like one of those bubbles with like 100 notifications of like missed emails or whatever. You will never see that. I can't handle it. So I gotta clear all my notifications before I start the stream because otherwise I'll be distracted. Alright. So, we're turning up the difficulty today. Honestly, I might just make this a thing of this run where every so often, maybe every few streams, I will go into the settings for this run and just mess with a couple of options to make things a little bit more challenging. Try to work myself up to a higher difficulty level, and then maybe on my next run, I could just start at like normal difficulty or something like that. So I just think it'll give a better challenge, possibly make things a little bit more entertaining because fights will actually be a little bit scarier. So let's just see how it goes. Alright. Excellent. The game is streaming correctly. I love to see that. I don't know why Stardew Valley gives me so many issues on that front. It's crazy. Okay. Just loading the game. Apparently we're back at the camp. What did we do last time? Do I remember? Yeah, I have the memory of a goldfish. I don't remember what I did last week. Like, here's the funny thing. My mind is a steel trap for facts and factual information, so like, I could tell you about a bobbit worm, which is, by the way, a really cool animal. I can tell you a whole bunch of things about bobbit worms because I learned that a while back. I thought it was cool and I hung on to it. For stuff that I've done in like the last few days, I don't remember. I don't know. Okay. Let me see. Oh yes! I'm supposed to go yap at Galfrey. Well, actually no, Galfrey wants to yap at me. Is probably a more accurate way to put it. She's like, oh no, she's over here. That's right. Apparently I just passed a perception check. That's fine. Hello, Galfrey. I have come to yap. What did you want to talk about? Queen Galfrey nods to you cordially. Her armor is plain and unadorned. As promised, I entered the ranks incognito along with a few bodyguards. I've introduced myself as Kittrain, an old friend of yours. I'm a knight of a minor order, the Green Crows. We shall see how long it takes Enevia to sniff me out. Queen chuckles. Alright. Why did you decide to join the crusade after all? Because I have a curious mind, and I'm quite unable to sit and do nothing for long. The Queen smiles, but then grows serious. You ask a difficult question. I must remain as safe as possible. My death or abduction would sow chaos among our forces. However, I am not only a queen, I am also a paladin of Iomade. It is not in my nature to sit in a palace with my sword sheathed. In a manner of speaking, your request was simply a convenient excuse for me to be where I belong, crusading against the demon hordes. Besides, I'm curious to see my new knight commander in action. I have a question for you as well. Why did you wish me to join you on the crusade? Is it fair for you to send us to our deaths while you stay safe in the castle? That is most impudent, Commander. What would we become if every ruler or general risked themselves thoughtlessly on the battlefield? No thanks, I don't want to romance by accident. Ugh. I did that the first time. I missed the social cue and I accidentally hit like a romance button and she blocked me. Alright. Why did you entrust me with Darren? The Queen smiles. I saw such a wonderful opportunity to teach the Count a lesson and just couldn't resist. Honestly, I expected you to dismiss him forthwith. The Count would have been forced to return to court a laughingstock. It would have been a truly sobering experience. There is nothing more disgraceful for a Mendevian nobleman to be discharged like that. Darren Erenday. The Queen shakes her head. He was such a lovely child. His mother, Lady Selena... I'm sorry, hold on, what? Selena? Selena? Is that just a fancy way of spelling Selena? Is that what it's meant to be? Yeah, I don't know. Was one of the most gracious people I have ever met. She was amiable, yet decorous, and truly kind. Bonds of kinship among the nobility are on the whole highly practical and only useful for forming alliances, but Countess Erenday managed to become a true member of my family. I suppose that is why I spent so much time believing her son to be a better person than he actually was. His company is a heavy burden. Still, I must admit that I'm quite pleased that you decided to keep him on as a companion. There's a small chance that once he has had a true taste of the crusade life, the Count will finally cease to mock the Crusaders as cynically as he is wont to do. You've given an army and the title of Knight Commander to a stranger. Why? Because for 100 years I've protected my lands, trying to drive the demon horde back into the abyss. I have tried every right and rational method. The Queen affords herself a brief, grim smirk. My armies have been led by the greatest generals, even Iomeday's angels. My goddess's herald created the wardstones for us. We have tasted victory more than once. But we have failed to close the world wound. As for you, do not call yourself a stranger. You are the savior of Canabras. Hundreds of its people saw the power that descended upon you and turned the demons to dust. It's the sign they've awaited for decades, a sign for all loyal hearts and followers of Iomedae. The time has come. Hope has been rekindled in the hearts of my subjects, thanks to you. Hope is a priceless resource. I had no choice but to give it wings. You called it the sign they've been waiting for, but I take it you're reserving judgment? Your question seems to catch the Queen off balance. A strange spark flashes in her eyes. When Eredin perished and Iomedae took over his legacy, I was among the first to serve the new goddess. I helped restore her church from the ashes left by the chaos after Eredin's death. Since then, I have served the inheritor loyally and truthfully. I like to believe that I've earned the blessing of my goddess. The Queen's voice is surprisingly ardent. Okay, so in other words, what this tells me is Iomedae has only been a goddess for, like, maybe 150 years tops. Probably less. I don't know if I was supposed to figure that out sooner, but, she's really new at all this. Technically, so am I. But, kinda. Spoilers there. After I learned of what happened in Canabras, when I met you at the Defender's Heart, I had so many questions. Is it true that what happened was Iomedae's work? Why did she give this power to someone unknown rather than one of her most loyal followers? Could it be that my faith has grown weak and I don't recognize the deeds of my goddess even when they are happening right in front of me? Is the goddess somehow testing me? Those doubts were like poison. But I refused to let them poison me, the Queen finishes strongly. I gave you an army, declared you Knight Commander, and accepted you as I would anyone chosen by the goddess. It sounds to me like you're trying really hard to keep up your faith despite doubts. So you're trying to prove this. I feel like you're trying to prove this more to yourself than anything else. Yes, Katrine the Knight. That's fine. Okay. Great, that's that done, so I can close that up now. Something else belongs to Rendilove. Okay, that's gonna be in Leper's Smile, so we gotta get there. Got it. Actually, you know what? If we're lucky, maybe we might even make it to Drezen today. But it'll be a little bit tricksy. One. Dodge. That one I can't do this turn. This act. But we can at least hit Currantglen and Heaven's Edge on our way over. Alright. Let's... Difficulty. Okay. We're gonna leave this here. This right here, this Dead Companions Rise After Combat thing, we are leaving this until... Like, this is gonna be the last thing I switch off. But we will bring up damage to party to 0.6. And we'll bring enemy stat adjustments to moderately weaker. Never do auto level up. Keep that on. Keep that on. I have crits on normal. So that was the one difficulty thing that I did do right when I started, is I put this on normal rather than off. This is a quality of life thing that I don't know that I'm ever turning that on unless I have to for like the sadistic game design achievement, but we're not doing that for a while. Save management difficulty is on standard. Okay, apply. Yes, we shall save. So this is going to be slightly more challenging now. That should be exciting. Okay. What have we got? We need Drezen, and we need Ulbrig. We don't need Nenio anymore, though. I want land back. Give me my archer. He was primarily a spellcaster. I think it'll be once we get to Drezen that we'll be able to properly figure out what our full party composition should be. Because I know I want Arushale, but Arushale can take the spots of both Lan and Woljif. So, oh yeah, we gotta go help the Hell Knights too. So let's do this first, because it actively benefits our troop. And then apparently we get some. So yes, please. Let me grab those fruits and let's send them up to here. So actually, they can't make it all the way, so I might actually send my other army back. Oh, it was perfect. All right. Just to kind of buff that up a little bit. Great. They're a little bit behind the camp now, but that's fine. Okay. Here we go. Let's go rescue the Hell Knights. And then we can swap out the shield bearers, because I don't actually love shield bearers. I tend to play really aggressively in combat. And shield bearers just don't deal that much damage. Like, I know it's good to have, like, a tanky unit, but, like, they just don't deal that much damage.
We will win.
Okay, Sela, mount up. This is gonna be a little bit more difficult than I'm used to, so you need to be really on top of things here. Good, we got... Actually, I want Drezen in the middle. Lan and I in the back, Drezen in the middle. Yeah, I'm good with that. That's... yeah. Okay. Looks like the Hell Knight continued to fight the gargoyle even from the air. They both fell to the rocks and perished. Hi there, Yaker. Commander, come here quickly. Okay. Yeah. From the mountain, you see a raided camp and two groups of warriors, one wearing white and yellow armor, the other in black. They are led by a tall man in white priest's robes. Some of the warriors glance around fretfully, their weapons shaking in their hands. You hear the screams of gargoyles from above. Beasts are approaching the camp.
Quickly, evacuate the wounded. The beasts are about to strike again. Use cloaks as stretchers. We've got to make it through. Paralictor, your people will have to cover us while...
2 more minutes left out in the open, and neither you nor I will have any troops left to order about, Crusader.
But the wounded...
Problem solved. Retreat to shelter.
If the man in white has anything further to add, his words are drowned out by the shrieks of gargoyles as they fall from the sky. Right, so let us get down there so we can go rescue them. Paralictor will lead the unit to shelter. We need to get through to them. Got it. We also need to be aware that, there's monsters. Okay. So, first things first. Knock out those.
Thank you for amusing me.
Just check here. Okay, so that -1 con was something that my party inflicted on the gargoyles, not the other way around. Good. I don't remember who has that feature from their weapon. Hold on. Let's take a look here, see if we can figure out what it was. I don't know. Alright, well, that's fine. Yeah, should get a few more right about here.
I will see to your eyes. At least, try to entertain me.
Thundering Blows is such a good feat. It's the one I always give to Woljif because he has so many attacks, and yet sometimes he misses all of them. And it's just not very satisfying. And so I always give him Thundering Blows because at least that way he'll deal some damage every turn. The sight before you is at once macabre and picturesque. A lifeless couple, a man and a woman dressed in white and yellow priest's robes, lie on the ground surrounded by the bodies of dead gargoyles. They are tangled in death. The claws of the monsters are tearing at the human's clothes, and the largest gargoyle's talon has pierced the man's chest and punctured his heart. But before they died, he or his companion defeated the enemy. Suddenly, the woman opens her eyes. She doesn't look at you, but stares up at the world-wound's horrific sky. Her pale lips open and she exhales abruptly. The sun will never rise again. There's only darkness above me. Even the sky here is cursed, and we along with it. Jaeger, walking in the front, steps over the man's body without looking, but turns around at the sound of the woman's voice. Mendevian faithful break too easily. Oh, if all Mendevian devotees broke easily, I would be much happier. Unfortunately, most of them have good health, unconquerable will, and a never-ending desire to moralize. Darren is jeering, but looks at the wounded woman with hesitation. He shrugs. She's not just wounded. I can see the signs of severe exhaustion. I wonder what happened here. We're gonna try and heal her. You need help. You'll feel better now. The woman pushes you away with a weak gesture. Expend your efforts on someone who can be helped. Leave me. My crusade is over. Who are you? What happened here? I am a priestess of ardent siren ray from the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Next to me is Ashes Strier, the head of our order. Sorrowful pride sounds in the woman's voice. He has led our forces on raids to the Worldwound many times, but this campaign... The gargoyles attacked a few nights ago. A vast number. We've never seen anything like it. Ashes organized our resistance with great skill, but while the monsters were distracting our fighters, a small group of them raided the camp and took our supplies. We were left without food and water in the middle of the whirlwind, where it's nearly impossible to find provisions. We shared the last crumbs of our supplies and set off back the way we came. Everyone was suffering from hunger and thirst. We grew weak and could barely fight back when the gargoyles struck a second time. They snatched many of us away. I saw the pain on Ash's face as he counted the losses. But he managed to rally us. We continued our trek and soon came across traces of a recent battle. Someone had destroyed a troop of demon worshippers. In our desperation, we decided to follow the strangers to warn them of the gargoyles and seek their help, having no idea that they were Hell Knights. But we received only scorn. Every gulp of water in my unit is accounted for, they said. They spared us 2 flasks and a sack of dried bread. They said we were allowed to keep the sack to use as bandages. 2 flasks between all of us. A sack for bandages. Hell Knights. Seela curls her fist, almost grunting through her clenched teeth. I'd rather ally with a flesh-eating poisonous wyvern. Don't expect any goodness from those black tin cans. If you meet them, count yourself lucky if you don't end up nailed to the nearest fence post. A leader has to take care of their own tribe first. All the scandalized gasps. How could he do such a thing? Suddenly fall away when you're first faced with the hard choice. Are you going to take food out of your own child's mouth to feed a starving stranger? Life can be cruel. In times of war or famine, folk are sometimes forced to make ugly choices like that, because if they don't, it'll cause even more death. But there's this one thing I've noticed. Ulbrich glares at Jaeger. Some chieftains loathe making decisions like that. After they do it, they drink and blame themselves, even though they know they did the right thing. Other ones, however, are all too happy to make them. They even boast about it afterward. Look at me and my heart of stone and my head of iron. What happened after that? The gargoyles attacked. Despite how the Hell Knight Paralictor had treated us, Ashes endeavored to help them and had us carry their wounded. But that monster had them slaughtered. Ashes was beside himself. It's difficult to conceive of such evil. He told our people to go with the Hell Knights to find shelter while he stayed to cover our retreat. He was a strong cleric, but as he treated our wounded, he neglected himself, and he paid for it. Your commander can't be helped, but you're still alive. Allow me to help you and come with us. The woman looks at you wistfully. Why? So many deaths, so many sacrifices, such bravery. All for what? No, I will not go with you, stranger. My commander and I will die by what we lived for, compassion and nobility. I don't want to keep fighting for a world that bows to such laws. May the goddess forgive me. Farewell. Jaeger shakes his head. Commander, I'm not one to advise you, but you're wasting time on this fool, and the gargoyles will soon be back. That's their usual tactics. Fly up, regroup, attack again. I'm going back to my unit now, and I'd advise you not to stay here long either. Okay. Wait, huh? Hold on, do we have any of that yet? Don't. Seela? Oh wait, you've got half plate +1. That's funny, it was showing me for... Okay, but you use divine spells, so it doesn't actually matter. Interestingly enough, that half plate +1 is... Oh wait. Full plate is slightly better, because it gives you just the teeniest bit more max dexterity. You take that. Do we have anybody else who can use half plate? Ulbrich might be able to. Hey Ulbrich, let's see here. Oh, we're exhausted. Okay, so... Oh! It's actually slightly better for you. Less of a penalty. Oh wait, except this... Oh wait, never mind. Wait. Oh, does he have proficiency with medium armor but not light? Is that what we're looking at here? I don't know. Why is +1 change shirt worse? It has less of an armor check penalty. What? I am greatly confused. That's fine.
Let's save some adventures for later.
It's the only one who's not fatigued is Lan. We got more battles to be fought today, y'all. Deal with it.
Do not waver.
Hit the cleric, please, guys. Also, you all deal with that. Real quick. Our tanks will be fine for a second. You guys won't. Actually, none of us are taking too much damage, so I think we're fine. Great. Well, Jay, if you have a job. I love when I hit the button by accident.
This is my kind of work.
Aha! Yo, Vivian! Let's bump up your AC, shall we? You and the horse are on a level on that front. Love that. Okay. We go loot, we go loot, we go loot, loot, loot. Yes, I'm a shameless looter. Okay.
See? No problem.
Okay, so apparently I'm not even the primary nature checker anymore now that we've got Olbrig in the party. Oh. Or maybe he was just closer. We're equal. Okay. That makes me feel slightly better about my abilities. Alright. So. We're gonna have a whole little cutscene here, and there's gonna be gargoyles here and gargoyles there.
Knight Commander, I presume. Your glory precedes you. I am Reginald to Reg, Herelictor of the Order of the God Claw, and temporary officer of the joint unit of Hell Knights and the Order of the Sunrise Sword. You and your people should take positions. The gargoyles are regrouping. We expect they will attempt to break through in 5 to 6 minutes.
A Paralictor indeed. Impressive.
Are you in command of this unit? Oh, no? Then step aside and let me discuss the matter with the commander.
Would you look at their get-up? Head to toe in black. You can tell right away that lot means business. How can they move in all that armor, I wonder? Those spikes must catch on everything, eh? And answering the call of nature, that'd put the fear in you. One slip and you've gelded yourself.
Wretched does not acknowledge Ulbrig's wit with so much as a glance. Did you really give just 2 flasks of water to the Knights of the Sunrise Sword suffering thirst? And a sack to use as bandages? Standing behind his commander, Jaeger rolls his
I
eyes.
spared them the exact volume of resources I could sacrifice without risking my own people. However, the situation has developed, and I've already ordered they be given additional supplies. They are temporarily under my charge, and I can use their forces to rebuff the attack. They'll work for their water.
Sometimes you must act first and deal with the consequences later. Sacrifice nothing and you will gain nothing.
Noble Ashes and his Sunrise Swords have already done so. And this is what it led to.
That's right. The chief is responsible for his own tribe. If he decides that he's responsible for the whole world, his own people will come to ruin. And if he wishes that someone else was responsible for his people, that means he's not fit to be chief.
I also saw you ordered your own wounded to be finished off.
Indeed. The gargoyles were clearly trying to capture as many prisoners as they could. I don't know the reason behind these abductions, but I'm not about to give the enemy what they want. That is why all my people were ordered not to be taken alive. And as for the wounded, we didn't have time to get them to safety anyway.
Can you hear yourself? For the sake of principle, in order not to give the enemy what they want, you killed your own wounded. Helpless subordinates. Why does anyone still follow you?
Because we are Hell Knights. We know our duty.
Only someone who's never been responsible for the lives of others could feel any outrage at this decision. The wounded couldn't be saved. What good would it do to anyone if the rest perished along with them?
What charming people. Those fellows in black make Holrun look like a sweet old soul by comparison.
No joint unit?
Forcibly joined. The leader of the Order of the Sunrise Sword was unable to get to safety, which is not surprising, considering his, shall we say, excessive scrupulousness and sluggishness. Given the
Consider,
extreme situation,
he is a
I
gnome.
took command.
He is very short, and that is his voice.
Just great. Paladins and Hell Knights all in the one troop. It's like catching the plague and the pox at the same time.
It's supposed to be good when different people unite. We're here for a common cause. But it still gives me the creeps for some reason. Hell Knights shouldn't be allowed to get their claws into our paladins. It's wrong.
We need to get rid of the gargoyles. Then we'll talk.
Agreed. Be ready, Commander. This attack may be worse than the last one.
Yep. Okay. Scylla.
Into the fray!
E, get over there. Lan, get over there. Dayrin, get over here. Actually, speaking of, no, me and Lan need to get, like, here-ish? If you're going for that one. Ulbrig,
Better start running.
go wherever you like. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. That's your job, guys. Deal, we're gonna get more reinforcements over here. I think you gotta be over on this side. I think. I don't know, I'm just used to this fight taking forever. Because I always play it in turn-based. Yeah, there they are. Steal it! You have a job! Buljif, you have a job! Ulbrig, you have a job!
Will be the stuff of a legend.
Never mind, Ulbrig, you have a job!
The light takes you!
That.
That's easy.
little more. Alrighty. Alright, Regil. Regil gracefully stows his weapon and places his hands behind his back. You two, check the area. Mark any potential shelters that offer protection against aerial attacks. Quartermaster, inventory the remnants of the camp. I want to make sure that the gargoyles only abducted people and weren't interested in anything else. Send messengers immediately to our scout squads and order them to return to camp. And I need a full list of casualties. The sooner the better. He turns to you and nods slightly. Commander, your arrival was well timed. Now we can finally talk. I am quite interested in the events that occurred at the Great Garrison, and I suppose you have questions for me as well. Alright, what do you want to know about what happened at the Great Garrison? Any shift in the balance of power during this war has a direct impact on my mission. If a new player appears who's capable of fighting demons effectively, then I am ready to support that person with all the resources I have at my disposal. But naturally, I cannot blindly trust a stranger, even one marked by the gods. You have every right to doubt. I usually don't trust strangers either. So we understand each other. Thank you, Commander. Is there anything you'd like to know before we move on to more serious issues? We're not done talking about your atrocities. Of course. If you wish, I will explain my position in detail. All the soldiers killed at my order belonged to my unit. Therefore, the case is an internal matter for the Order of the Godclaw. You could have sent an appeal to the Order commanders, but the result is inevitable. Not only do the Order's rule and field operation guidelines not prohibit it, they even recommend a policy of death is preferable to captivity. So everything that happened, though it is surely lamentable and has deprived me of a few good fighters, is also a prime example of military necessity. I cannot influence your internal rules, but I hope you understand where the jurisdiction of your order ends and ours begins. I am not trying to force our rules on Crusaders, Commander. I hope you won't try to make us disregard ours. If the incident is settled, I suppose we can return to relevant matters. Alright, what are you going to do now after the gargoyle attack? I will wait for my remaining fighters to return. What you see here is only a small part of my forces. As for my long-term plans, that depends on the results of our conversation, Commander. Before we move on to serious subjects, I'd like to address an organizational issue regarding my unit. You may wish to be present. Yeager steps forward and salutes with a clenched fist to his chest. Herr, permission to report. During the first gargoyle attack, I determined it necessary to leave my post. I swam over the river, found the commander's army, and asked them to provide assistance. The reinforcements were much needed. You will earn a double salary for your resourcefulness, Yeager, and 100 lashes for abandoning your post. Yes, Herr. I wonder if it's foolish and overly harsh to punish Yeager for leaving his post when he did it to bring help? Actually, no, I've already said I wasn't going to interfere, so we just say nothing. Now, for a more delicate issue. You, Commander, were interested in our dispute with the Knights of the Order of the Sunrise Sword, correct? Their forces in Canabras suffered great losses in the demon attack, and now their leader has perished and his troops are in trouble. They are reeling with no command structure. Their order will hardly be able to recover from the losses they've suffered. What are you getting at? These fighters aren't the finest material I've worked with, but if I assume formal command over them, I'll be able to reforge them into weapons of reasonable quality. 1 or 2 might even become true Hell Knights. The rest will be put to good use as well. What does this have to do with me? I suppose, Commander, that for leagues around, from Canabras to Drezen and from Drezen to the cursed city of Iz at the heart of the world wound, all of this pertains to you in one way or another. You are the catalyst that shifted an age-old balance of power, whether you meant to or not. Your own future, and much more, depends on the decisions you make here and now, even the ones that seem insignificant. No one but them has the right to decide their fate. Talk to them directly and get your answer. Initiates of the Sunrise Sword. Your leader is dead. The Order has suffered serious losses and will not be able to recover. You may return to Mendev to join another Crusader Order and hope that they don't meet the same fate as the Sunrise Sword. Or you may remain under my command. I will not promise that it will be easy, or that our war-making, wow, I read that as something completely different, will be constricted by your principles. What I can promise is this. Under my command, you will never again feel like helpless mice in the talons of a ravenous raptor. That mean we've worked off the precious resources you spent on us? The water, medicine, and bandages? Yells one of the knights in white and yellow. I wouldn't make such an offer if I thought you were useless garbage. The initiates of the Sunrise Sword consult with each other for a time, then one of them, a young woman in Knight's Order, steps forward. Thank you for your trust, Paralictor. We will stay and are ready to obey your orders. Fine. In due course, I will review your troops and make any necessary decisions regarding your role in my unit. And now, Commander, for the most important issue, cooperation between our forces. We do have a common enemy and a common battlefield. You're looking at me strangely, Paralictor, when we discussed Jaeger's punishment and when we were deciding the fate of the Sunrise Sword. It's as if you're testing me. Regil lowers his head in a gesture that might be read as respectful. I do not believe I made any attempt to conceal my interest in you, both as a new, strong leader in the region and as the bearer of a highly unusual power. Of course, I'd like to know what's inside your head. One could say that it's my duty. My army and I are going to Drezen to free the city from demons. You can join forces with us. Drezen? An ambitious goal, but most reasonable. Imagine how such a victory would rally all the separate bands of today's Crusaders under one banner, and we certainly need a base of operations inside the World Wound. I stand ready to support you. Moreover, I can accompany you in your campaign. However, I would remind you that Hell Knights are outside of Mendev's jurisdiction. My unit and I will join your forces and obey your orders, but only for as long as I deem that our goals coincide. We don't need the likes of these black-armored statues. I don't want to fight side by side with someone who will slit my throat if I'm weak and wounded. You can't defeat one evil by inviting an equal but slightly more organized evil into your ranks. Slightly more organized than the demons? I could consider that an insult. I've never dealt with Hell Knights before, but from what we've seen, they're serious fighters. That's just what we need. And just think how that armor will look in the paintings they'll make about our battles. Alright, it's a deal. Yes, Commander. My forces and Regil de Renge are at your disposal. Right, I don't need him in my party. I was hoping maybe I could level him up mythically from here, but I can't, so. Alrighty.
Precisely.
How's your mobility right now? Plus 12? How's my mobility right now? Plus 3. It's 13. It's 11. It's 13. Minus 2. Plus 12. It's 12. Wow, we actually have a lot of them. Let's see here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, actually, is we're gonna take that off for the moment. Save. That's a pretty high DC.
At once.
Oof, Darren. Hey, it's tough, buddy. Oof. How did you get over here?
Oh, skip the pleasantries.
Thank you. Okay, go try again, guys. Thanks. Jeez.
Always watch your back.
Alright. Alrighty, shall we go then? Yes, please. Oh, that's from that one gargoyle that just went disappeared. Alrighty. Where are we going next? We have Leper Smile coming up. Yeah, we'll rest. Marching on Drezen upended my life and gave me a new, utterly incomparable experience. One could say it made me a different person. A person who can dress and groom himself without the aid of servants. Proud of you, Darren. Good job, buddy. Only one last thing to learn. How to tell your left boot from your right. Ah. Okay, let's pause here. Okay. Don't to shield bearers. I want. Yes. The Hell Knights are really good cavalry, by the way. Yes. Let's go on a little adventure. Eee. Eee. And go. Alright, we'll just call that good for now. That works for me. Evade. Alright. Hideout. Yes, we can rest.
Are all cities on the surface as huge as this? In Canabres, our tribe would be like a drop in the ocean. It's hard to even picture what Neurosian must be like.
Neurosian! When the war's over, you'll see it. There's always lots going on there, and there's even a few good inns where we can celebrate our victory in style.
I think that's the first time I've heard that one particular dialogue line. Close. So we made it to Leper's Smile. Are we ready for this? Okay. Danger and distress rest heavy upon the scales, their measure soaring on the perilous march to Drezen. The army moves steadily along the bank of the West Selen, scarred with canyons and ravines. Suddenly, a group of scouts returns, and Nevia, the leader of the group, makes two urgent signs to the soldiers. Wait, and quiet. She dashes through the ranks to the commander who awaits her report. We're in trouble, she whispers. The road ahead is split by a canyon. To get to Drezen, we'll have to go down and then up the other side. But the canyon is swarming with foul creatures, Vescivores. A real pain in the neck. They won't shy away from our soldiers' weapons, and they've already managed to gobble someone up. Looked like a caravan of refugees from Canabres that lost its way. No one has ever reported Vescivores so far from the center of the world. Where did they come from? Anevia bites her lip. They still haven't noticed us, but that won't hold true for long. Maybe if we retreat quietly? The commander makes a sign for her to stop. Find out what else is known about the enemy. Those nasty little critters, they can ruin your gear and drive you nuts with their buzzing, Anevia says in a rush. They've got a queen, the mother of the whole swarm. She's right horror, but if we kill her, the bulk of the swarm will scatter, and we'll take care of the rest of them somehow. After hearing her scout's report, the commander prepares to convene a council to determine a plan of action. The commander and her companions convene a field council. The army cannot march around the obstacle, for there's no other road. Retreat is far too risky. Should the swarm notice the army and catch it out in the open, no one would survive. None utters the word trap, but fear hangs in the air. A swarm of omnivorous beasts just happens to be in the army's path. Someone has arranged this for their own nefarious ends. Rustling, grating, squeaking, humming, everyone hears the voice of the swarm, though the sky before the army remains clear, for now. How long until it is darkened by the flying spawn of the abyss? An idea, a decision, straight and sharp like a soldier's sword, appears in their minds. The Crusader Council grows grim. One unit must act as live bait to lure the swarm out of the canyon and clear the path to the Vescivore Queen. The commander will rush the monster, killing her quickly, before the swarm decimates the army. They will get but one chance. A dark question looms. Who will lead the fateful squad and be consumed as bait? In moments of extreme stress, one often says one thing while meaning quite another. These hidden words often reveal many a curious thing. And what do we see here? Irabeth nobly states, I'm an officer, best suited for the mission. But in truth, she means, I cannot burden another with my responsibility. Skittish bootstraps, send me! Nura the historian emerges with an unexpected suggestion from behind the commander's back. This is just the sort of situation where ingenuity and knowledge of the enemy will be more useful than swords and armor. While she speaks, she thinks, I need to prove myself. The queen has yet to disclose her presence and watches quietly from a distance. The commander thinks that she should look into the faces of your companions. The Hell Knight Regil steps forward. My people will fight to the last, even as the swarm tears through our armor and strips the flesh from our bones. But his motives are plain. My superiority over the Crusaders will not permit me to cower behind them. I've eaten so many bugs in my life, it's only fair to give them a chance at revenge. The mongrel Lan hides his fears in plain sight. I'm a dead man walking already. A life such as mine is worthless. And silently he begs for more. Sacrifice me, or give me a chance to prove myself. The ones who distract the swarm will need a healer. Sociel is the only one who speaks plainly. A healer might bring a few through the Vescivores alive. The rest of the council remains silent, and this silence is filled by a chorus of, "There are others better suited," and "The commander needs me alive." Does the commander hear these unspoken words? What will they lead her to decide? The fateful troop will be led by Sociel. The commander and her party disappear among the rocks, preparing to slip down into the canyon while the swarm is distracted by their bait. A tight-lipped Anevia shows the way. Behind them, the final preparations are made. Sociel's eyes grow cloudy for a moment. There are a few creatures as abominable for a follower of Shellen as Vescivores, devourers of flesh and destroyers of matter. This trial will not be easy. The soldiers tread fearfully down the road toward the dark edge of the canyon ahead. The rift that yawns open before them whispers, rasps, rattles in thousands upon thousands of voices. Vescivores gather below, but the sky is open above them, and the flying creatures might rise up and attack at any moment. The soldiers soon find the first body, the mangled corpse of a refugee from Canabris. A few straggling Vescivores wriggle inside the dead man's gaping chest, tiny larvae and greenish shells, all shuffling legs and hinging jaws. They don't seem menacing at all. But then the rasping noise stops for a moment, and a high vibrating note pierces the air with new force. A blur of a blackish-green cloud rises above the canyon. The swarm has taken the bait. The time to act has come. The leader of this fateful squad shouts that they shall hold position and fight for the soldiers' lives. Standing in the middle of a formation of soldiers, Sociel utters a prayer to Shellen. From the outside, it would appear that a cloud of Vescivores will in a moment fall from above and destroy their forces utterly. Hundreds of spawn of the abyss gnaw on bodies and armor, destroying as they consume, but the cleric's power flows forth in waves, healing the wounds of his comrades. As if understanding who is to blame for the unexpected resistance, the spawn cover Sociel like a living carpet. The servant of Shellen trembles, but does not move or halt his prayers. The soldiers look on with awe, as though they are witnessing a holy miracle. Temporary success holds no true hope for the fateful troop. Their foe is no great beast, but a million ravenous creatures, bringing with them the eternal hunger of the abyss. To fight them was to cry upon the wind. Their only hope was to rely on their commander and hope that she was preparing to slay the Swarm Queen. What was happening down in the canyon at that very moment? You know, for an all paths open run, I probably should have started my alignment at neutral, but I don't know if that was actually something I could do. Still, going for this achievement would give me more options than I would otherwise have. Okay, who do we want to hang out with us for this? This party's good. Alright. Sela, you gotta saddle up. Now. Has which things? Ulbrig has Swarmbane Grasp. Okay, so Ulbrig is gonna be like our frontliner for this. Then I have Ratcatcher's Goggles. Okay. So what I think I'm gonna do for this, Sela. Oh, that's not quite what I meant to do. Take your shield back. We're gonna be using this crossbow for the duration of this. Also, Vivian, let's put your armor back on. Daniel's got a ranged weapon, Woljif. It's not your best damage potential, but 15. I got 12. Basically the same. Okay, so Woljif. Ah, you're the one who's dealing constitution damage. I will give you a ring of protection. What's our highest whiz character? Wait, I can literally check that right here. So Lan has 17, 14, 14, 10, 13, 16. That's gonna go to you, sir. Okay. Actually, that means Seela, you should dismount because Harriet is gonna be running the gamut along with the other 4. Alright, so we got 4 frontliners. 3 of them are currently animals. And then 4 backliners with arrows. That's the plan. Okay, Nevia. Spots of light and shadow dance along the walls of the canyon. High above your head, a swarm gathers, dark as a rain cloud. There are so many Vescivores that they block out the sun. Luckily, you've escaped the attention of the swarm, which is focused upon the troops you're using as bait. For now, at least. With a tired gesture, Anevia wipes the sweat and dust from her forehead. There's anxiety in her eyes. Commander, the beast we've come for is on the other end of the main corridor. There's a lot of burrows and plenty of beasts in them, but you'd better not delve too deep. Our people won't hold out long enough for us to clear the whole area. On the other hand, I saw the bodies of some poor caravanners down one of the side holes. They have some valuable stuff on them. The bugs will eat anything we don't grab. They can't tell the difference between flesh and steel. Wait. So they're eating all the treasure while we're standing around talking? What are we hanging around for? Come on, there's no time to lose. Can you tell me anything useful about the monster? I've never fought these before, so I don't know much. She's a nasty beast. She spits acid and summons her spawn from all around the area. One more thing. When I tried to get closer, I started feeling sick as a dog. I guess like a lot of demons, she knows how to get inside your head. Well, great. Huge, hungry, head-spinning, acid-spitting bugs. And I thought the Crusades were all about the pretty armor and the tasty rations and sometimes saving beautiful maidens in white dresses from dumb demons. Did you manage to find out where these beasts came from? I'm not sure, but there are clear signs of a ritual closer to the Queen Bug's lair. And they're fresh. Maybe somebody summons the scum, but especially for us. The demon filth figured out that we're never going to let Canavers go. Too bad we don't have a magic specialist who can figure out what those runes mean. Okay, let's move. Good luck. I'm right behind you, covering your back. I'll catch up when it's time to deal with the Queen. Okay. So we ignore side passages. Draw the swarm, Ulbrig. Thank you. Great job, buddy. Don't loot right now.
I'll make short work of this. Baby.
Great. Okay, I don't actually remember which way to go. Is this it? Yeah, it is. Okay. The bottom of the canyon is split by a narrow crevice about 1 stride across at its widest. It's easy enough to jump over, and in places even step across. The obstacle doesn't seem a problem or even particularly notable, but as you draw closer you hear a terrible droning sound coming from the crevice. It seems to be howling as if it's alive. You stare into the darkness of the void, trying to make out where the strange sound is coming from. Not all at once, but your eyes pick out the contours of a body in the darkness. Someone small, perhaps a gnome, a halfling, or a child, rolled up in a ball at the bottom of the chasm under a stone ledge. He's crouched down, his head to his knees, and he's hugging his legs tightly. It appears to be one of the caravanners caught by the swarm. He's crying aloud, one continuous tone, and it strengthens as it echoes through the crevice, building into something truly haunting. Not without effort, you manage to clamber down to the bottom of the crevice, tie the halfling with a rope, and pull him up. He doesn't resist, but he's little help either, dangling helplessly like a puppet. The Vescivores inhabiting his eye sockets seem to have eaten their fill, and you easily pull them out and crush them. Their victim sits on the ground and continues to cry, and the sound begins attracting unwanted attention. You hear the humming of disturbed Vescivores above. A mass of them separates from the main swarm and flies towards you.
You retreat already?
Easy enough. The halfling you pulled from the crevice didn't move at all as you fought the onslaught of Vescivores. He's still lying on the floor, crying. I'll heal you and come back for you later. Magic can heal a caravanner's wounds, but not his mind. For now, there's nothing more you can do for him. He seems scarcely aware of your help, and his crying and shrieking continues. A moment later, you hear another scream from overhead. Leaning precariously over the ledge of the crevice above, one of your men falls to the bottom and dies upon the rocks. The other soldiers, now serving as bait, are up there desperately fighting for their lives and yours. Basically, that's my one freebie that I can get away with in terms of helping the caravanners. Huge runic circle has been drawn on the rock, probably with blood. Get her! That's the one place where having Nenio along would help, I guess. She's a magic specialist. Okay, old break. Oh boy, oh boy, buddy. Old break. You got to run, bud. Bye. Well, that went well. I probably should have been using some strategy there, but I didn't even think about it. Okay. Unleashing her last shriek, the swarm queen slumps to the ground. Immediately, as if by magic, the distant sounds of battle begin to subside. Several small beasts sit on their mother's body, sinking their mandibles into it. The canyon drowns in the waves of scent, a sweet soporific with a hint of bite, like the crackle in the air before a storm. Ugh, I can't breathe. I need some fresh air. Get me out of this disgusting hole. Agreed. Mind you, I've had cause to see holes a good deal more disgusting than this in my time. Darren laughed suggestively, but they were few and far between. Tila looks at Darren in confusion and a second later bursts into giggles. Have the fumes gone to your head, Count? Look at you, cracking jokes like the worst kind of bawd. Lan looks askance at the queen's carcass. The mongrels in the caves under Canavers could eat that, I guess. Anevia approaches the queen's body and grins. That's it, you filth. No more flying. It's good we got rid of her without suffering more losses. Just a little longer and we'd have been forced to bury lots of our fighters in this cursed land. Suddenly, Anevia stops. Her nostrils flare and her eyes scan the floor and the walls of the canyon. She squats, pokes at some lumps of a slimy substance, lifts them up to look more closely, smells them, and cringes. Anevia, is something worrying you? Aha! Anevia rubs a ball of greenish slime in her hand. I'd bet my life that your gear had this nasty stench when we were entering the canyon. I saw the queen bug spraying it around to summon her spawn to her. Let's see if we can find the source of that smell among my equipment. You and Anevia search through your things and quickly find the source of the smell, a thin handkerchief. Looks like it's been soaked in something like the Swarm Queen's slime. Wow. When the queen was spraying the sweet-smelling goop around, the swarm flew to it like flies to jam. The chewed-up bodies of the caravanners smelled like this too, I checked. Commander, I think some rat planted this handkerchief on you to ensure that the Vescivores would find you. Looks like I have enemies in Mendev, and someone has decided to get rid of me. True, nobody likes upstarts. If you knew what Irbeth's allies hissed behind her back when she was appointed head of the Hegel Watch. Anevia spits. Anyway, we need to keep our eyes open. That handkerchief could have been planted here by magic, but take it from a professional paranoiac. I think we've got a rat in our camp. In Canavers, we squashed the cultists time and time again, but they were like maggots in a dead hog. Some could have infiltrated our forces too. We have to keep our eyes open and our guard up. It's time we got back to our people. I say we destroy the queen's body. I've heard the little bugs who eat the flesh of their mother can be reborn as swarm queens themselves. That's kind of the last thing we need, right? Fine, Anevia, get rid of the beast's body. Great. Cleaning up after a fight is just what I like. We'll start here, and little by little we'll clean up the entire world wound. Okay. Ooh. Everybody stretch, we've been at this for an hour. How did you, Socio? Anevia, Commander, what a relief, you're alive. I saw the swarm begin to thin and ran to you immediately. She pauses to catch her breath. Socio wipes the sweat from his brow. My squad handled the assignment. I healed everyone I could, but my warriors have had quite a fright. It's not very pleasant to be eaten alive, then healed, then eaten and healed again. I knew I could rely on you. What happened up there can't be described in words, but you are the one who carried the day. Luckily, our losses are not as great as we feared. Not many are even wounded, but if you'd been a moment later, I'm afraid to imagine what might have happened to us. Fortunately, the insect's acid ruined what was left of the caravan. Of course, I sympathize with those who perished, but we could have used their gear. Yeah, what a waste. We could really do with some supplies. If only they'd died on the road somewhere, of thirst, or after meeting some wild animals. We'd be sitting pretty right now. I couldn't let my people die while I was looting corpses that the bugs had left behind. What matters is that everything's over and we won. What are we going to do now? Since you're here, please take a look around. I found some painted runes and the traces of something that seemed like a ritual. We need to figure out what this is. Poor Olbrig took the brunt of the attacks. He's like the only one who's... The rest of us are barely even injured at all, but Olbrig is just like beat up. Still, he did his job. Definitely did his job. Ha! Easily done. Nora leans over the magic symbols painted on the stone. I'm no mage, unfortunately, but I'm in the habit of thoroughly documenting all descriptions of rituals and symbols from magic books, especially demonic ones. Someone very recently opened a portal to the abyss here and summoned someone. Not difficult to figure out who they summoned. She's lying dead right there. I can guess who carried out the ritual. Handwriting is unique, even when it comes to runes. I examined the Grey Garrison after your success, documenting everything I found for Queen Galfrey, and I'm sure that the hand that drew the rune circles was the same in both instances. It's the work of the same spellcaster. Looks like this spellcaster is afraid of us and dares not fight us openly. Of course he's afraid. Nothing he can set on us will ever be scarier than the swarm. He's just played his last hand and lost. Well, since we finished off the swarm and we know someone is giving us trouble, I suggest we get out of here. I'm done with bugs. I know this works for my party. Okay. Olbrig.
Rely on me.
Buddy. Olbrig, my boy. Okay? Probably should have been better about spamming heals while we were doing that. It probably should have been Dayron's job. Alright. I mean... Vivian took a little damage, but beyond that, beyond Vivian and Olbrig, the rest of us took,
Thank you for inviting me on this journey.
no damage at all.
Risking life and limb, facing countless dangers. Perhaps I shouldn't thank you.
Seela? Oh, Seela. I was reading recently that there are a bunch of people who would love Seela to be a romance option in this game. And honestly, I can see why. She's pretty cool. Hello. Yes, like that thing. Not much, but it's nice. Okay. So this is actually kind of an important section, because this is going to be the section where we're able to unlock the Lich Mythic Path. I've done my research. Or at least get on the first steps to unlocking the Lich Mythic Path. It will also be the, probably the first evil choice you've seen me make so far in this game. Actually, it will be the first evil choice I've ever made in this game. A boulder covering a secret tunnel. I see. We'll come back to that later. We're going to clear out this area first, because I want to switch Seela back to her main weapon once we're done with all the Vescivores, and there are a few more of them over here.
You can handle them, right?
Olbrig, it's your job. Harriet, that's your job. Oljif,
Distract them
Over
from
there.
I'll loot your corpse.
Out of my sight.
Should hope so. It's pretty nice. Actually, no. You're gonna.
Endure this!
In. It's for there. It's for there. Yeah, that works for me. Oh, break. Oh, break. You failed the save. Come on, man. Literally have the swarming clasp. This way. Falling in traps isn't fun, so let's not. Let's just not fall in traps.
That's easy.
Good, then that means we should be fine. Get him!
I'll shoot one from over there.
Old break. My dude, you good? Aaron. Thank you. Okay, so Olbrig's struggle busing right now. Buddy. Olbrig. Oh wait, he can't act right now because he's nauseated. Right. Olbrig. Drink your potions. They're good for your health. Alright, we got a level up though, that's good. That will make some of the things that are to come a lot easier. Okay, sure, perception on both sides are gonna go. So pretty much has us on that. So we're don't need that. Sure, we'll do our world knowledge. That works for me. We aim. See if there's anything else that I'm gonna want here, but actually, we will finish up our archery specific feats and start leveling the other stuff. Okay, let's grab Longstrider. Two spells, huh? Fast Feather Step would be good. Yes, let's. Oh. Interesting. That's realistic here. I'm a hunter, not a spellcaster. So you can't get teamwork feats. Probably because your intelligence isn't enough yet. Right? Alright. So for Adam, that would be that. I'm gonna roll with that for a second. But this is a teamwork feat. Outflank is gonna be better for the moment. So we're gonna grab that. Well, Jiff, I might give you outflank feat as well. Because that's one feat where I think the more of us who have it, the better off we'll be. So I don't know that you'll have that short sword for super time. Yeah, we'll grab outflank. 3 of us can focus. That'll be That's cool. Haste. We gotta give haste to Woljif as well. Nenia's not gonna be in our party consistently enough. And actually, that would be one reason to keep Woljif, even if we have a Rue. Yes, coffee killer. Want. Hi. Doing. I kind of need to read things. Thank you. Okay. So let's be doing something. Okay. It says to make him a fighter now, but I don't want it. Like this. That's pretty good. You're happy? Yes. Swap to your sword and shield, girl. In fact, not only do you swap to your sword and shield, let's just... Yeah. Let's just keep you swapped over. Okay. Oh. Else. Break! Athletics check fit. Oh, break! Fix it. Okay, we'll come back for that later. Our organization changed at all? Good, it has not.
Your death.
Get it!
They
Might be tragic.
Okay, so some of us failed our saves. Catch y'all.
Pretty good, aren't I?
They dare threaten me.
Oof, well, Jiff.
Don't mind me.
Together, we stand.
Girly, help him. Thank you. We are unfortunately out of heals, but at least from you.
Missed me already.
Do that, Darren. Oh, Jiff. Hey, who's got lesser restoration?
I will help where I can.
You.
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
Have it. Okay, go help old Jiff, please. +3 cost.
Something wrong.
How much constitution damage did you take?
Rules are made to be broken.
Okay, do it again, Darren. Jeez. That was a lot of constitution damage. Cool, bro?
This is my kind of work.
I gotta go back around this way. This is the one clever thing about Pathfinder's like trap design. It's all layered. Well, Jeff, your job.
This is my kind of work.
Precisely.
Okay. How are we all doing? Ready to go deal with a retriever? We are running low on heals. Okay. To retriever. We're gonna quick save. On a slightly higher difficulty this time around.
Let's have some fun.
And actually, I'm gonna turn this into turn-based. Ow! Damage undead isn't gonna be super at this point. What have you got for us, Darren? Sorry. Ooh, we got 5 of them. Exciting. They miss. used that spell before, so that's kind of fun. None of them hit the target. Realistically, Woljif, you should probably mage armor yourself. Great, now you can run in.
Time to share your
Yeah, just run all the way in, why not? Okay, land.
Into the fray! Stab their backs.
Oh, bye, Ulbrig. My goodness, what is wrong with this man? Why can we not keep him alive? What the crap? Ulbrig, what's wrong with you?
Cover me, all right?
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
The inheritor. Rise my blade. Always watch your back.
Okay, so like, we got a problem here. Alright guys, let's rest. We'll rest, we'll take a nap. We gotta figure out what the crap is going on with Ulfric here. So confused. Is my lord's highborn backside too good to get up and do something useful? I'll have you know, grunt work is just as beneath the dignity of your lord's other highborn body parts. Interesting, Darren. You're a strange soul. We gotta rest at camp soon. Okay. Ulbrig. Go to your human form quick. Ulbrig, buddy! Your AC is 21! What is going on, my dude? Why are you dying? That's worse for you. Is there anything that's better for you? Oh, not really. Not so far. Well, I fully outfit you in, like, plate and stuff. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna swap that out for the short sword. I think the short sword has outlived its usefulness. Yes, it technically can deal damage, or at least it has higher potential to deal damage, but the average damage is less. I want to have somebody use them. Oh, what? I'm about to steal it. It's a mace for a bit. Attack bonus is plus 14. That. So with the sword. What? Sword. Hi. So plus 4. I don't actually change that much. Sure, you'll use that for now. And we will put this sword. Put the sword here so that we don't accidentally sell it. That would be awkward. No accidental selling of things. Hold on just a second here. Okay. Do that for now. Alrighty. Onward, back to business. Yeah, we'll roll with that for now. I'll break.
All they took from me, I'll take back.
Dude, you even have more hit points in your griffin form. Why are you dying constantly? What is this? I have literally never had this problem before. Okay. Let's see. Back through here.
Rely on me.
What's that glitter?
That's a good catch, is what that is. Wow. That's a really long trigger.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Hold on. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Is this what I think it is?
Careful.
I don't know. It just keeps going and going. Auto enter an option enabled. Yeah. But also, we don't need that on right now, so. Aubrey. What is happening? I'm so confused. Oh wait, you can't yet until this condition goes away. What on earth? Alrighty. Can be slightly distracted streamer until this conversation finishes up. Hello there, Brock. Allow me to bop you. Is this just what turning up the difficulty does? Is that Ulbrich just dies a lot? Is that really all I'm looking at?
We will win this war.
What the heck? So confused, you guys.
That's easy.
Okay. We run around the room, see if there's anything interesting. Just a little bit that's interesting. Great. Precisely. Okay, that's really all there is to that. Well then, there's at one place where a boulder blocked the way. So Sela, let's go find that again. It's over here. I mean, I think there's like a passage through there, but I don't actually care about it that much. Okay. Let's see. Ha! It's a white. Let's get him. Very nice. Guys, where are you going? I feel reasonably confident that I pushed a button on the ground.
I don't steal. I encourage people to save the poor, helpless tieflings around the world. Starting with me. This is my kind of work.
Is that so?
The light take you!
Always watch.
Okay. So yeah, this is gonna be where we are going to find some interesting things.
They will break against our resolve.
Thing is, all these whites are just gonna come right back to life
They are the darkness.
if we don't deal with the root cause of their own death. Of course, I can't always just loot their weapons off them, and now they're a little bit easier to defeat later. Give me the loot! I want it all! Catch, Ulbrich. Okay. Let's... So, Claw, thank you.
Crusading isn't that boring after all.
So we found a thing, guys. Wand of Zacharias. Guys, deal with Harkle, would you? Being tricky.
You are lacking.
Okay. There we go. As soon as your fingers touch the wand, a surge of energy courses through your body. A howling choir of restless souls deafens your very thoughts. Green light pours from your eyes. It can rend soul from body if you so much as will it. The wand vibrates in your hand like it's alive, but no, it is certainly not, as you realize with amazing clarity. But there's definitely something inside, and it's studying you closely. We'll reach out our mind and touch the power that's hiding within the wand. Your hand clenches the wand harder and harder, like it's closing around the throat of an enemy. Suddenly, the darkness lurking within the wand emerges and seizes your hand. It crawls through your eyes and deep into your mind. A spark flares in the darkness. It's a firefly, held gently in the hands of a young mage. Its light barely diminishes the gloom, but it's enough to see the stone walls of a dungeon. There are several others, young and battered wizard crusaders holding magic wands, all showing signs of recent battle. You hear a rumble from above, followed by a furious demon shriek. The mages rise, preparing for another fight. A tall figure arises before them. Master Zacharias, you're alive! The mage towering over his apprentices is pale, and his clothes are covered in blood. His voice is dull and dispassionate. The newfound sanctuary has fallen. You have fulfilled your duty. Now leave. This is my battle, not yours. Telden. The apprentice is baffled. Turn around to the young man holding the firefly. Today I die and leave my friends. Take my wand and deliver it to Canabras. In the hour of greatest need, let a worthy crusader return it to me. I will know that my brothers need me, and I will rise to their aid. Even death will not stand in my way. Okay. I gotta Google real quick. Because this is what I've normally done. I have no idea what either of these options do. Okay, Zacharias, wand. Okay. Secret companions to recruit. That's exciting. Okay. Fire Zacharias. Simply do not... Okay. Not to be a lich, simply do not break the wand, embrace its evil power, or just slip it into your bag. We'll just hide it in the bag. The green light fades as quickly as it arose. The choir of the dead quiet their howls. Power slips away even as every part of your body protests against it. You vividly realize how fragile and fickle mortal flesh is.
I should have known better.
You won't survive me.
Okay. Make sure that I have a good sense of how it works. Okay. So that's step 1. We only have a step 2 left. Oops. Knocking things over, it's fine. So yeah, that's step 1 dealt with. And now we are free to loot as we like. What we got? Charcoal soot and the remains of a greasy looking liquid, possibly oil. We also got Tarendalev's claw, which is the other thing that the storyteller has need of. Stop that. Alright, why is your hitbox so huge? Loot taken by thieves from the Tower of Estrog. Yep. Yeah, so if you've got an idea of what you're looking for, it's not a hard mythic path to unlock. It's just, you know, a matter of knowing what you're looking for. So, okay. Oh, we have missed a little loot. Hold on. Come back. Go grab that. We're not coming back here, so we need it. Okay. We have done the thing. Time to go. Look at that. It only took an hour and 45 minutes to get all the way through Leper's Smile. Okay, it's 1:30. I now have something I need to leave for at like 4:30 and homework. I've also ensured that I'll have enough time this evening to work. So I've got about 2-ish hours of homework to do. So I think we can probably keep playing until about 2:45 to 3-ish, maybe 3:30, depending on what we get ourselves up to. Which may be enough time to complete the siege of Drezen. Hold on, just a spot. Where is it? Give me that. Sure, we might have missed all of the caravan's loot, but there's still some that lies around here. Actually, what I might do. Everybody besides Sela. Oh, okay, so you guys stay here by the area exit. Sela, you're speedy. We're gonna quick save in case this goes south. But with the Vescamore Queen dead, it should be relatively... Wait, stop, guys. Just want Sela. Vescamore Queen dead, in theory there shouldn't be any more baddies hanging around. Yeah, there's not. Great. Okay. So now we just run around with Sela looking for all the loot. Whatever loot is left. There's not a ton. But we want to salvage whatever we can. It's expensive to run a crusade, you guys. There's an exit there, but it's no trouble. Trouble, really? Acid has ruined the caravanner's gear. Yep. I know. But we saved the one guy, and that's really what I care about.
On my way.
Okay, and that connects back up there. Let's pop over here. Yeah. My first run, I got confused and was like, ooh, things to loot, because I hadn't read everything through all the way. And so I had no idea that looting would get my soldiers killed. I didn't even think about it. So it was an interesting adventure then going from like getting chewed out later by certain people and being like, we could have saved more if we'd only, you know, not looted all the gear. It's like, oh, oops. Didn't realize that was a thing. So. Alright. get to rest. And then I have to use the bathroom shortly after all this, too. And then we got Currantglen, we got Heaven's Edge. Guess I haven't talked to Jurna. So he hasn't given me the Chili Creek quest. That one is an interesting one. You should go find him and get that sorted out here. Unless he's gonna come to me. I don't actually know.
That's easy.
Wait a minute, is Vivian medium now because we got to level 7? I think she is. Yo! I have slightly bigger Velociraptor now. Hey, little one. They say you can do magic. An old silver-haired fighter sizes Ember up skeptically, apparently baffled to find such a young girl in the middle of the war. He's cradling his wounded arm, which has been hastily bandaged. Can you heal me?
Yes.
Of course. Ember whispers a spell and touches the bloody bandages. Thank you, that's so much better. The soldier rips off the blood-caked rags and strokes the healthy skin underneath them. How old are you? You're only a child. I have a granddaughter at home just like you. Oh, little girl, how did you end up here? What are you doing here in the thick of it with us? Ember gives him a light-hearted smile. I'm just like you. I came to the thick so that the thick wouldn't come to all the other kids. Like your granddaughter. Well, I'll be. So little and yet more courage than some officers. The old man runs his rough hand over her hair and she smiles at him again. The crow on her shoulder rubs its head on his hand like a cat. Talking to you takes a load off my mind. I reckon it's not just my arm you healed. The soldier leaves, shaking his head pensively. Ember waves happily, then turns around and notices you. Hi! Do they often come to you for help like this? Ember shrugs. Demons keep hurting them. I keep healing them. But you know, it's surprising. So many soldiers come to me. They say I bring them comfort, that I give them strength. But I don't do anything like that at all. I only talk to them nicely. I'm just a feather-brained little girl. What if something I say is wrong? Maybe I should keep quiet. But I can tell that my words make them feel better. I guess I'm confused. Don't second-guess yourself. You're helping all of us, the soldiers, our companions, and me. You think so? I think I'm just wandering around saying silly things. She taps a scarred finger on her cheek, then breaks into a smile. All right, it must be true if you say so. That depends on what mythic path one is playing. Okay, we sleep. We sleep.
Final check. Knee pads in place. Pillow in case of spontaneous collapse in place. Chronometer in place and running. I hereby commence the experiment. Today we will learn if members of my race are capable of sleeping standing up.
Okay. Yeah. There in particular. Okay. Nevia, do you have anything to say? Nope. Bye. Okay. Making progress, y'all. Right. Okay. Let's get everybody their levels up. Hello, you. On a strike. Point blank shot for. he's spec'd into. You're spec'd into, I think. We don't change that up much. Hello there, Nenio. I will get you into my back into my actually. Ability, Cosmo. I'll continue specking you until you sure. Boom, boom, boom. You already have arcane train. So then if I give you armor proficiency, then I can make you slightly tougher and slightly less likely to die. Do sleep. Actually, no. Come on. Because once I kick Dayron out, Ember's gonna take over. That seems useful, I guess. La 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 la. Okay. Yeah. Above. Okay, that's everybody leveled up. Wonderful. Ember. You can use that now. Is that better for you? It's a teeny tiny bit better for you. Your AC is now 14. Your AC is now 15. Sure. Now it's 17. Apparently I put the wrong padded armor on you. That's good for you, actually. Okay. Hell yeah. Julie Pike. A new rapier. I think you could plan. Film doesn't come with benefit. Yeah. Also, still doesn't overcome benefits. I think I'm happy with your thinking it. Well, Jeff. Alright, Regil. I'm taking all of that. You're not going to be in my active party. Sela is. So, giving stuff to active party members. Just, you know, Lan, you can use that. Old Brig. I want you to have that now. I'm not going to be dealing with very many swarms anymore. The thing. That's not what I was looking for. Oh yeah. To level Harriet and don't die. Be good. That's why Harriet died in like her second combat. Okay. Curious about Okay, yeah, it's the intelligence thing. Interesting. So, we're going to do that at a certain toughness can be read. Toughness is probably to the end. Wait, did I already level? I did. Okay. Anybody else need level ups or new equipment or what have? Actually, Regil. Do that. Social. Have that. I think. Yeah, Social, have that. Definitely have that. I'm gonna give you the Stormbane clasp for now. Mostly just because I want you to hold on to it. So that we do not lose it. That'd be very awkward. Okay. Recipe. Recipe. Copy recipe. It's me. There's a random severed head in my inventory. You know what? I'm taking that out of my inventory now. Oop. That can hang out there. At a certain point, I might get more. I have no idea. I've never finished out that quest. I just know apparently it's a thing when Darren's in your party. And speaking of Darren, actually we might not make it to Drezen because we've got Currantglen and we've got Heaven's Edge, among other things. The Quartermaster flashes you his usual grin, but it fades almost immediately. What a march, eh, Commander? I won't forget it, not in a million years. I can't stop shaking whenever I think about the Leper's smile. It's a miracle that we lost so few back there. The soldiers realized that if you'd made the wrong decision, half the army wouldn't have made it out. They're scared. They're scared things are only going to get nastier from here. What if we held a wake, lit up the bonfires, poured some wine, raised our cups in memory of the fallen? It'd do the troops a world of good. We will mourn the fallen not with wine, but with words of prayer. Wise words, Commander. Wine gives way to sorrow, but a prayer to bright Iomade should soothe their grief. Maybe the goddess will see our pain and send us a wit of her infinite grace. Alright, show me what you have. Not gonna use that. That's outlived its usefulness. We'll hang on to that for now. It might be useful for somebody. Possibly Nenio, actually. We'll hang on to... We'll hang on to the bows for now. Because... I know somebody who might get some use out of them. Don't need that. What do we got here? Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. Too bad I don't have anybody who wields a light hammer. Maybe I make a character who does, because that's so cool. Whenever you confirm a crit hit, all members of the party are affected with the equivalent of the haste spell effect for 1d3 rounds. We'll hang on to it for now. Maybe there's somebody else we could give it to. Oh, I've got 25 shields in my inventory. Okay. Casually, 25 shields in there. We'll hang on to this as well, because it might be handy for Ivu. I don't need that. We don't have a bard, and we're not getting a bard. isn't decent anymore. Dragon's Fang is 75,000. But I kinda want it. Selling, sell a bunch of crap. I'm not gonna use that. It says something for how much I play this game. That I don't even have to scroll over and look at the tooltips on things anymore to know when they're spell ingredients or not. Okay. Let's check this really quick. Nenia, what do you have? Detainer. Yeah, really? That's right. I feel like knocking something back 15 feet can get unhelpful rather quickly. But the same thing at the same time. Okay. We'll do that. And then what's Dayring got, actually? We'll give that to you. I think that's a good plan. And then for this, honestly, sell Hunter's Assurance and the hammer. Yes! Sending. La. Ila, I think I have a new weapon for you. It's gonna wipe out the vast majority of our savings. I hope you understand. I need you to understand that. It's gonna knock out a lot of our savings. I'm not gonna use those. Realistically, I'm just never gonna use it. Let's see, I'll sell the rest of our scrolls for that too. Don't need the book. See if we can decrease the cost, but I don't have the greatest of hopes. Mila, I have a new weapon for you. That's not for me. I don't use a sword. Tila uses a sword. And then you're hanging on to Radiance until we can get it fully upgraded. At which point, we will swap it out. Okay, Lamb, what you got? Right. That's a good bow. I might end up giving it to a root. It's fine. Okay. Hey, Fainless, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome in. I still haven't figured out how to do that myself yet. I don't know why, but I can't figure out how the raid function works. Welcome in, raiders. It's nice to see you. I won't pretend to be anywhere near as good at this game as Painless is, but I do enjoy it. This is by far my favorite game I've ever played. So, okay. I need to bring my armies over. Hold on. Guys, you didn't come with. Go, go. Go hang out at camp, y'all. Alright, nope, that's not what I was going for. Guys, go. Oh wait, hold on. I have goofed. That's a thing I need. Hold on. I gotta think about this. Okay, so there is an actual button for it. That's good to know, because I've been trying to figure out the commands and stuff, and it just hasn't been going well. Alright. Let's see. I did actually end up turning my difficulty up a little bit because of you, though, Fainless, because you inspired me to try challenging myself. So, I think I've decided that the challenge of this run is that every so often I'm just going to crank up the difficulty a teeny bit and see how I handle it, and at some point perhaps I can build up to like a run that starts at a higher difficulty. I forget how annoying this fight can be. Alright. Let's see. How about you guys just smack what's right in front of you? And you guys too! Very nice. And you guys as well. Let's see if we can keep these flies distracted while our archers pick them off from the back. I'm a little worried these ones might come around, but we will deal with that when we get there. Oh, never mind. They just went right over me. Cool. That's a problem. No! You're making everybody skip the turn! No! I don't approve. Okay, never mind, not skipping the turn, just like demoralized? Something like that. Okay, clerics. Probably heal the Hell Knights because those are the ones I'm most worried about losing. They're expensive units. Okay, see if you can't knock out. No! No! You were so close, you could have hit that last fly. Alrighty. Let's see. Oof. Yep. Yep, I know, it's hurting us. There's not much purpose in the archers hitting that, though. I don't know. I don't know who there is much point in hitting that. Okay. Yes. Hurts a great deal, yeah, I got it. Yeah, grab that. There we go. It's one stack gone. Very nice. Very nice. I should probably get this general, like, some actual spells as well, but we'll get there. Okay. Last stack. We just need to keep the Hell Knights alive. Go get him! Before our infirmary fills up. Yay! Victory! Alright. Turning up the difficulty does a thing. Okay. So we have completed that quest. Let's make sure we don't have any other shenanigans we need to get up to before we onward. I'll get to those guys eventually. I don't want to deal with them level 7 army right now. Ooh. C2 ranged attacks. I think we'll do this, because again, I mean, you guys haven't heard it yet because you weren't there at the time. But I tend to take a fairly aggressive approach with Crusade mode and my armies. Okay, at least go knock out the level 3 army, I think. I'm not risking the level 7, but we'll take out the level 3. And then we'll go set our sights on that one. Let's just clear out this region, I think. Alright. And that just leaves this one level 7 that we'll need to come back for later. Yeah, we're not doing that yet. Ugh. That's a lot of bad guys. Alright. Oh, and we get to recruit. Yay! I love recruitment days. Starting batch. Oh, we don't have the finance points. How many resources can we get? This hurts more than... Yeah, no, we're not going to bother with that right now. We'll just send these guys along, and we'll collect some Hell Knights later. Have more finance points. And more treasure from adventuring. Okay. Honestly, the reason I'm a loot goblin in this game is primarily because the game itself encourages me to be a loot goblin. Oh, darn. Just because of the, fact that so often I end up funding my crusade out of my own pockets. I can buy equipment for my companions, but at a certain point you have all the equipment you need. And so I just end up amassing, I think in one of my runs I've got like 1 million gold on a fairly regular basis, and I just spend it to finance the crusade. Should we do something interesting here? I think we should do something interesting here. We should definitely do something interesting here. Okay. What have you got for me, Woljif? That would not be wise. Never mind. Not Woljif. You just keep doing that. However, you, sir. Should we do this again? I think we shall. That sounds fun. Yeah! Definitely doing this again. Playing around with some new spells. Higher difficulties. Oh. No! Not Ulbrig! Guys, not Ulbrig! Leave him alone! Can't control himself. Oh. Bye, Ulbrig. Ugh. Ouch.
Together we stand.
Don't know how I ended up here, but here I am.
There you go. Just use the whole stack. How about? Grow big again. I don't know why, but Ulbrig has been dying a lot this run. Like, since I turned up the difficulty, he's been dying a lot, and I don't quite know what's doing it. I mean, it's possible I just don't yet have all of the feats I need to really make his build work, but he feels really weak. And I also haven't quite figured out how to strategize mid-combat without turn-based mode. It's like, I really like the fact that turn-based mode gives me more time to think about what I'm gonna do. But I really like how much faster combat goes when I'm doing real time with pause. Always quick save before combat. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Definitely not sure. Maybe I just need to get him a heavy armor efficiency so that his AC is a little bit better. See if we can knock out a full stack of them before initiative starts. I had hopes. Well. Well. That's exciting. Okay. So we've got this big old tree in the way. Somehow I get the feeling that these guys are just gonna kind of hang out back there since there are a bunch of spellcasters. But that's bad. Okay, never mind. We will see how this goes. I might end up reloading because I'm not too happy about this. Oof. E. 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 Best you can, archers. This could be very bad. Here, how about you guys run back there? Oh. Oh no. This is not gonna end well. Okay, yeah, we're... Okay, hold on. We're reloading for a second. Let's see. Can I get to both Currantglen and Heavens? Oh! Oh. Okay, never mind. I thought I had to deal with that fort in order to do this quest. It's fine. This is probably... I mean, aside from my other Azada run, but I've only made that one to Act 3. And I couldn't figure out how to continue Daren's quest for the longest time. So this is my first time ever doing Heaven's Edge. We're going into this a bit blind. I don't know what to expect. Oh, come on, Daren. Velociraptors aren't invited? Dude. But I like my Velociraptor. Also, I might turn turn-based mode back on just because, look, I have a ton of spells, but I never use them because I often don't have time to think about it in real time with pause.
Always watch your back.
Rigel, what are you doing? Oh, is everybody here?
My not so numerous, but nonetheless dearest guests. About a year ago at my last birthday party, I assured you all that I nurtured a deep-seated hatred for boring people who give protracted speeches in the misplaced belief that their inner thoughts are of any interest to anyone but themselves. Now I am a whole year older, and also a full-fledged crusader, an honorable position that requires me to be as dull, pedantic, and vexing as I possibly can. Therefore, a speech it is.
Oh dear.
The revered cleric Nestrin, my guardian and tutor, often told me that those who live a sinful life may expect to join the abyssal hordes after they die. This is why their path is the most despicable of all. A part of their soul may return to Mendev in the abominable form of a demonic invader. Every time we see a demon, we might as well think about it. What if this wretched creature used to be your great-great-grandfather? What if certain parts of this pointy-tailed beauty used to belong to your pious cousin? They say that the demons represent the sins of the souls they are made of. Succubi emerge out of lustful souls. Vandals turn into Abracandilu. Gluttons become Nabasu. I, for one, am determined to commit as many different sins as possible, so that the distributive mechanism of the abyss breaks when it tries to decide what to do with my soul.
Oh, that's a funny concept. Also, I love that this concept gets introduced here, if you've got Darren in your party, before you ever meet Arushale. That is like, that's a solid detail of foreshadowing if you don't kick him out like I did my first couple runs.
My dearest guests, will be my assistants in this complicated task. Eat, drink, and indulge yourselves in whatever vices you can. Let nobody leave this house as righteous as they entered it. Live every day like it's your last. After all, nobody knows when that day will arrive, do they?
Interesting. I know certain members of my party are not going to necessarily love that idea. Is this literally just a fancy party? Okay, how interesting. Inquisitor Leoder whispers in your ear from behind. Did you find anything interesting? Nothing, really. I just took note of a few things. I attempted to find out whether anything unusual or mysterious has happened to the Count over the last 10 years. During my conversations with his acquaintances, 2 people noted that he never speaks of the revered Nestrin, a priest of his Iomade, who is his guardian and tutor. Yet he just mentioned Nestrin in his speech, whatever that might mean. Okay, you told me you tried to find out if anything odd had happened to Darren over the last 10 years. Some of his servants complained about strange occurrences in the house, like objects moving by themselves or candles going out. Of course, that could simply be a figment of their imagination. It is also very well known that the Count often invites various spellcasters to entertain him and encourages them to use their magic in mischievous ways. Practically the whole of Mendev knows the story about the 3 drunk wizards and their teleportation race across the roofs of Canabras after a party at the Count's house. What I'm trying to say here is that any fluctuations in residual magic at his house are not at all surprising. There was the matter of the abduction, however. A gang of bandits kidnapped the Count hoping for a ransom, but the only reward they got was death. Afterward, the Count told everyone that he had hired the bandits himself as a joke. The other mercenary squad that freed him and executed the bandits was also in his employ. Nobody really wanted to delve too deep into this case after confirming the identities of those wretched cutthroats, but there was one disturbing fact about it all, and I don't mean the Count's bizarre idea of fun. The mercenaries who supposedly freed him had also cut off the bandits' heads after they had already killed them. Ah, so that's why there was a severed head in my inventory. Their heads were cut off. You mean the bandits who attacked Darren? Yes. Perhaps I wouldn't have even noticed this detail had I not visited Heaven's Edge right after the tragic incident. I remember that we also found several headless bodies, both of guests and demons. We thought they had been decapitated during the fight. My companions have been finding severed heads among their belongings recently. Strangely, things like this weren't a problem before Darren joined the party. What? That is an alarming coincidence. Now we have another reason to conduct an investigation. it is crucial that we find out what exactly happened at that tragic feast. Okay? What do we need to do, Inquisitor? Now that's the hardest part. I need to dive deep into the past of this place, which requires casting several different spells over some time. It would be very convenient for me if nobody interrupted the process, especially the Count himself. I don't think he remembers my face, but a suspicious stranger casting unknown spells might attract his attention. All in all, what I want you to do is distract the master of the house. Right now, he is playing host in the very place I'd like to start with. Okay, so how do I distract him? I don't know. Maybe your companions can assist you somehow? Or you can take a look around. Perhaps there's something that can help us. I understand. Good luck. Come back to me when the Count leaves. I will tell you everything I managed to find out and maybe even show you something. Okay. That's not super helpful, Leper. Hey there, Drezen. Drezen, who's been watching the guests with an unreadable expression, turns his head to you and says in a casual tone, like he's continuing a conversation that was interrupted, I've always considered myself an aesthete, not a hero. When doomsday comes, I thought I'd pour myself a glass of 100-year-old wine, sit in the front row, and just watch the world burn. Playing the violin was also an option. Now, I'll be darned if I know how I ended up in the Fifth Crusade. How did I become the companion of a heroine chosen by Omade? I'm a little worried I'm going to accidentally flirt with him. That one's definitely a flirty option. So we're not doing that one. Because we're not romancing anybody this run. Perhaps this is your chance to finally do something worthwhile. What do you want me to do then? Dance a waltz on Drezen's ramparts with a charming courtesan? Sounds worthwhile to me. Tell me more about Heaven's Edge. This estate was once a truly beautiful sight with its lush gardens and placid ponds. Drezen smiles briefly. It is a genuine smile, quite different from his usual half-smirk. The house itself is not that large, however. This land is part of the border region even before the World Wound, so my ancestors took that into account when laying the foundations. The larger the mansion, the harder it is to defend. Makes sense. I'd gladly give you a tour, but I'm afraid there's not much to see here. I didn't have much time, so my servants only managed to clean up this yard, the Great Hall, and a couple of rooms. There's nothing interesting about them, except perhaps the magical firefighting system powered by water elementals. I'm not sure it's still functional, though. So why did you really decide to throw a party at the scene of such a tragedy? What's this ghoulish farce all about? Drezen freezes. What an odd feeling. It's like I'd been lying under the sun in a spectacular meadow in full bloom, and then you barge in to pour a bucket of ice-cold water all over me. Is this how you treat people who invite you to their celebrations? No, you don't have to answer. I could come up with a polite excuse, but I'd rather match your courteous manners and put it bluntly. I do not wish to continue this conversation. Thank you for ruining my mood. I shall retire to my chambers for a time. The Count gives you a pointedly formal bow and leaves. Well, that actually went better than I expected. Cool. That was easy. However, before I come help you, Leper, they have indeed been neglected for many years. I am going to loot. Somebody will give me money for that. Alright. I see that you did your part, Commander. Thank you. Now get ready to watch and listen closely. I will unravel the past of this place and try to show you whatever I find. Who knew you could distract Drezen by pissing him off? Okay. The hum of voices, laughter, and music fills your mind. Then the visions come, fragmented and hazy at first, before eventually coalescing to reveal a single face. It is a woman of stunning heavenly beauty, and her delicate features instantly tell you who she is. The family resemblance to Drezen is obvious. My dear guests, the Lady of Heaven's Edge welcomes all of you today. I hope this day is as bright for you as it is for me, because on this day, my only precious, sometimes arrogant, but utterly beloved child was born. A child is usually a reflection of their parents and caretakers. Countess, will you allow the humble tutor of this young man to address the guests and the man of the hour as well? A new face appears. It is a handsome old man with a strong, dignified posture, and a voice that emanates power. Can't we just have one day without your sermons? It's my birthday, after all. 10 years ago, the young Drezen had an utterly angelic appearance. His table manners and expression lack the dignity of a true angel, however. Day, I'm sure the revered Nestrin only wanted to hug you and offer you his best wishes on your birthday. Wait, what's that noise? The shrill laughter rings in your ears and reverberates in the base of your skull. The vision, a Lilitu, appears before the guests of the estate and gives them an exaggerated, scornful bow. The sorceress of evil has come to your celebration, mortals. Did you prepare a treat for me, too? What do you want, spawn of the abyss? I've already done everything I wanted to. Hey you, doddering cleric, look around. Don't you notice anything odd? The plague is in your wine, in your food, in the air around you, in your blood. Soon you will all die. Pray to your pathetic goddess and call upon your healing powers all you want, but they're not going to help you. Nothing will help you. I will give you a chance to see it for yourselves, and when I return, the grave realization will have already sunk its teeth into your throats. Oh, how I love watching mortals in their final desperate hours. The demon finishes her speech with an air kiss to Drezen, making him freeze in horror, and disappears. So that's the same type of demon as Minago. That's all I'll say on that. But, okay. Leodor shakes his head and slowly exhales, rubbing his temples. The first appearance of the disease and the Lilidu, one of the many sisters of the accursed Minago. So far, everything I've seen matches the official version of events. Okay, who are the people in the vision? Countess Selena? Is it just meant to be a Selena with weird spelling? Countess Selena Arendelle was Drezen's mother and is one of the most beautiful women in the history of Mendev. She was an Aasimar, just like her son. The old man is the esteemed cleric Nestrin, or Count's guardian and tutor. He was well known for his unfaltering faith and iron will. I was only passing acquaintances with him, so I can't tell you anything more than that. I didn't recognize the others, but Drezen told me that the first victims of the disease were his second cousin and the cousin's wife, hailing from the eastern border. Surely the cleric could have done something? I can't face her... struggling with words today. I can't say for certain, but I believe there is nothing he could have done. Magical diseases are already difficult enough to cure, and this plague struck very fast indeed. Now we must find out what happened next. Alright, what now? I can sense the aftershocks of a very strong outburst of emotions and memories somewhere in the west wing of the house. Something must have happened in one of the rooms, so please check if anyone is in there and distract them if need be. Oh, poor Drezen. In other words, I just get to spend this entire party pissing him off and chasing him away over and over and over again. Oh, that's a nice detail. The music going from muffled to unmuffled. That's a cool detail. Good sound design right there. Okay. So, check map, make sure I'm oriented up. West wing's gonna be over here. Chances are I'm gonna have to chase him out of the east wing later, too. Okay. There are doors here, but let me just gonna pop out here quick, see if there's anything interesting. Okay,
I'm the best.
Yay! There were occasional traces of other masonry and foundations. It looks like the building was reconstructed several times. That does fit with what I learned early on about Drezen, doesn't it? I think. Hi, Wiljiff. Are you stealing things too? Orc double axe. That's cool. Okay.
Careful now.
Hi, Drezen. Drezen arches a brow at you, but he doesn't seem to be disturbed in the slightest by your entrance. He's not trying to cover up or get dressed any faster. Commander, I assume that you have an urgent matter that requires my attention. Ooh. Ooh. How much of a rascal do we want to be here? We'll go with this one because I'm a little worried about what the consequences of this one might be. I am absolutely confident that you won't be able to persuade Seela to dance with you. Oh, I can imagine it. A lady graciously tearing down the curtains with her shield, her armor clinking melodiously to the music. I wonder if I could keep a straight face and drip honey words in her for the whole dance. You've given me a brilliant idea. I can see why people like Drezen. He's not a very nice guy, but he's funny. I see that you were able to do as I asked. Prepare yourself. This vision might be rather difficult to watch. Okay. Young Drezen stands motionless by the Countess's bed. His face is pale with fear and for good reason. His mother's heavenly beauty is gone. Her smile, once beaming with vitality and happiness, looks more like the grimace of a corpse. Only her golden hair still glows, a sad reminder of the healthy young woman she was just a few hours ago. Mother, can you hear me, Mother? Day, my boy, how did you get here? The Countess's voice is fading. Don't come any closer, this disease. Mother, listen, the revered Nestrin has sealed the gates. He says that he won't let anyone leave the estate. If the plague reaches the larger settlements, nobody will be able to stop it. He claims this is why the demons attacked us in the first place. They knew that we would call upon the strongest clerics to heal us, and those clerics would catch the disease and die as well. The fat baron and his family tried to escape, but 3 armed paladins barred their way and said they would not let them go. Mother, we need help. Canopus is full of clerics, wizards, and demons, know who else. They might know how to stop it. We need to get there as soon as possible. We must obey the revered Nestrin. We are the lords of Mendev, and we must protect our people. If it reaches Canobris, thousands of innocent people will die. I don't care about any innocents, Drezen's voice rises to a shout. You're ill, Mother. You're dying. You must tell them to open the gates and take you to Canobris. They won't listen to me, but you are the lady of the estate. They can't refuse you. I can't. I must. Please leave, my dearest. Don't lose hope. You can still... A convulsion overtakes the Countess's body. Her last words are swallowed by a long, guttural groan. Theodore wearily rubs his temples, but his face is unreadable. Now I have an answer to one of my many questions. Nobody went to Canobris in search of help because the revered Nestrin didn't let them. He valued the safety of the city more than the lives of his flock at the estate. What a difficult choice it must have been. Was there really no other choice? Who can say now? They could have sent one of the paladins to bring help from Canobris, assuming that the Knight of God was immune to the disease. Perhaps Nestrin thought he might need them to maintain order. Or maybe he understood that the demons would not allow anyone to leave anyway. Or maybe the plague was so strong that it could mow down even the most righteous warriors. We will never know if any of these hypotheses are true. Theodore rubs his chin thoughtfully. I have never been in the revered Nestrin's position, but I know the price of difficult decisions, especially those that you have to make quickly. I have no right to judge him, but we must continue our investigation. The next site I'd like to examine is the Great Hall. That is where we found the remains of Nestrin and the demons. I assume that he killed them in a confrontation, but we must make sure of that. Please help me clear the area so that I can study it. Okay. Very interesting to see what he's managed to get up to with Seela. What's going on over here? What's wrong, Count? Did you really expect me to do courtly waltzes? I don't feel like I'm the one leading in this dance. No, Tayrin, you're not. Don't try to weasel out of it now. You're not leaving this table until the music is over. Oh, so I have to go end the music. Or something. Oh, never mind. There's Tayrin. Hello. There's a feverish gleam to Dayrin's eyes, owing to either tipsiness or some overabundance of emotion. Oh there, skittish bootstraps. I utterly loathe you for persuading me to ask Seela to dance. It was the most abominable experience of my life. I absolutely must do it again. Just let me catch my breath. How are you enjoying my party? Are you having a good time? How about you, Tayrin? Are you having any fun? Of course I'm having fun, Tayrin says defiantly. What's wrong? Do you want me to spend my whole life in fear and mourning, blaming myself for what happened? Fine, let's change the subject. I thought the unique ambiance of Heaven's Edge and the fact that we're on the very border with the World Wound would make this celebration special. I thought the past would resurface and make itself known. Tayrin smirks bitterly. Well, it seems even ghosts don't wish to attend my parties anymore. What can we do to liven up the evening? Shall we piss him off again? I think we shall. The more I observe you, the clearer it becomes that you're hiding something, or trying to run away from something. Oh, now I can't decide if you're talking like an inquisitor or a self-proclaimed confessor. I hate both equally, of course, and it doesn't matter if you're about to suggest that I pour my heart out to you or make an honest confession of my misdeeds. The very thought of having such conversations makes my head hurt. I need some fresh air. Okay. We've pissed him off twice, and we've entertained him once. I suspect we'll need at least one more distraction, so we might try to make an even counter of it. Here we are again, Commander. Leoder looks grim but focused. So, let us take another glimpse into the past. I love how everybody just disappeared. That makes perfect sense. A ripple of laughter flows through the hall. It begins as a sweet, charming chuckle, but then turns into a rasping cackle that makes Tayrin huddle even deeper into his corner. Why are you running from me, my sweet prince? Come on, let me touch you. I'll give you... The booming voice of an old man dressed in Iomedaean robes shakes the walls of the hall. Get away from him, demon. Let the boy go. By the blade of the inheritor, you touch him only over my dead body. You are pathetic, old cleric. Are you the guardian of this charming little prince? Well, you guarded him in vain. The disease is already circulating in his blood, and soon he will rot before your very eyes. You won't be able to help him, and I can at least make sure his death is beautiful, clean, and sweet. The demoness turns her eyeless face to Tayrin and licks her lips. A coarse laugh escapes the young man's throat. We'll see about that! Leoder turns toward you in astonishment. Droplets of sweat glisten on his temples. Something is wrong, Commander. My spells are not working as expected. It's as if some kind of a supernatural explosion occurred here 10 years ago, blending everything together. Magical auras, the emotions, the memories. I will try again to read it. Could it be dangerous? I cannot say for certain, but it is unlikely. The past is in the past, and no one can travel through time except for some uniquely powerful entities like Aeons. Or perhaps the eldest of the First World. Even though the past of this place is horrible, it poses no threat to us in the present. Aeons, huh? Please continue. Just give me a moment to focus. I will try to channel my visions and feelings to you as accurately as possible. Tayrin, my boy, what's going on? Leoder's muscular shoulders suddenly begin to shake. The vision he is channeling does not change, but you feel something enormous and chilling silently infiltrate the reality around you. The presence of this nameless being becomes almost palpable. Some alien entity is talking to him. Hurry, old cleric, stop him right now. Do you really want to see what happens when... Save me. Can you save me? The presence thickens into something more tangible. Is Darren basically just a warlock? I'm most familiar with D&D. The presence thickens into something more tangible. The entity is silent, but you feel your blood pulsing in your temples, and each beat brings a new image, or rather a new notion. Help brings a feeling of relief and safety. Exchange makes the pulse stronger, more demanding. Gate and secret come immediately after. The images become heavier, almost visible. Secret. Keep the secret. Otherwise, death. 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 The gruesome images whirl through your mind, filling it with pain and fear. And then it all starts again. Help. Exchange. Secret. Death. Nestrin stretches out his shaking hand, suddenly looking like a doddering old man instead of a mighty cleric imbued with holy power. Darren, wait! The thing you're about to let loose is even worse than these demons! Darren's body is quivering like a taut bowstring. His eyes dart from the cleric to the demoness who is frantically casting protective spells. Demons, saints, I'm so fed up with all of you! Burn! Yikes! You good, bro? The other opens his eyes with a groan, then gets back on his feet. His legs are wobbly, his eyebrows cut, but he seems not to notice. Sincere sorrow is written on his face, as well as a strong hint of horror. What a misfortune. No, what a disaster. Everything is far worse than I imagined. Are you all right? The strain, the emotions, the overwhelmed me and made me faint like an agitated youngster. It is nothing, really. I will not be able to cast any spells for the rest of the day, but aside from that, I'm fine. Do you understand now what happened 10 years ago? The Inquisitor slowly exhales through clenched teeth and says in a low voice, still massaging his temples, Yes and no. My thoughts are astray. I will try to explain everything to you in full detail. Many living things are capable of performing the most extraordinary feats, good or bad, when a deadly threat looms over them. 10 years ago, the young Count found himself cornered in every sense of the word, and he allowed some alien entity to intercede for him. It frightens me that all my experience as an Inquisitor is completely useless in this case. It does not resemble anything I've ever heard or read about. This entity, I think I will call it the Other, possesses uncanny power. It was capable of instantly killing 3 greater demons, a mighty cleric, and a host of other mortals. You saw everything yourself. What's even worse is that this entity, this Other, it is still here. Theodore takes a long pause. His gaze is drawn to the chamber where all the guests are laughing and dancing. Darren's eloquent voice rises above the music for a moment. He's asking someone to bring more wine and add more logs to the fire. I don't know what exactly this creature is, but I know what it did to the Count. It turned him into a living gateway. The Other is not inside the Count's body. It is not directly controlling his mind. That's why there are no obvious signs of possession. But it is looking through his eyes. It treats him like a window into our world, and it can instantly step through it to wreak whatever havoc it desires. Does Darren know anything about all this? Yes, of course he does. Did you hear what the Other tried to convey to us? Help in exchange for a secret. Death. Death to those who know the truth. It wants to have an opportunity to use the Count as a gateway without anyone knowing. This is what made Darren deny that he remembered anything about the conclusion of the events at Heaven's Edge. What might the Other want? This is the strangest thing about it all. It came to this world 10 years ago, and it's still here, right? All this time it has been watching us through the eyes of the Count. Had it, for instance, wanted to kill Her Majesty the Queen, it would have had plenty of opportunities to do so. The Count can get close to practically every influential figure in Mendev, but the Other refuses to act, or its interests lie in some other sphere. Did the Other kill everyone, then? The disease was not to blame? Not everyone, just Nestrin, his paladins, and the few remaining guests. I know that it was the work of a mysterious omnipotent entity, but it still stings. I was here 10 years ago and I didn't check everything personally. Those who did failed to sense that something was wrong. Could the Other be the reason why my companions kept finding severed heads among their belongings back in Canabras? It seems very likely. I'm almost certain you are right. People tend to lose their heads when they get too close to Count Arendelle anyway. I do apologize, that was inappropriate. Perhaps your gruesome findings are the heads of some cultists who tried to kidnap the Count during the Canabras slaughter? Or perhaps they provoked the Other in some other way. Well, we have to do something. Yes. Now I understand Father Nestrin perfectly. I must make a crucial decision despite a dearth of information. The Inquisitor falls silent for a while, then he looks you right in the eye. Commander, first and foremost, I must apologize to you. Second, I must ask you to keep this secret. Alright, what are you so sorry for? I apologize for dragging you into this mess. You see, the Other, an entity of immense power, stated very clearly that it would kill anyone who found out the truth, anyone who knows that the Count is actually its living gateway. I suppose this secret is currently known to 3 people on Golarion. You, me, and Count Drezen. And that means... The Other gives you a crooked smirk and shrugs. Why should I keep it a secret? As soon as the Count finds out that we know his secret, the Other will understand it as well. We do not know what it is and what exactly is the scope of its powers, but we do know that it would dispose of anyone who might reveal its existence. I've made a decision, Leader says gravely. I will not tell anyone about the discovery we've just made, not even the Queen or my superiors. Instead, I will immediately go to Nerosian and sift through all the archives of the Inquisition in order to find out what exactly we are dealing with and how it can possibly be defeated. I may also make some cautious inquiries in other places, including Absalom. Still, I will not reveal the truth until I've found at least some reliable information. I'm asking you to do the same. Specifically, do not say a single word about our investigation to the Count himself. Okay. Fine, I will keep it a secret. Theodore lets out a sigh of relief. You've made the right choice. I recommend that you go back to the guests and spend the rest of the evening as you please. Anything else might raise suspicions. I must leave immediately in search of the knowledge we all need so desperately. Farewell, Commander. May the light of Iomedae guide your path, and Leodor Hawkblade will try to keep your path to triumph clear of any unwanted guests. Okay. Well, that's exciting. Okay, hold on. What's over here? The door's sealed and looks like it hasn't been opened in a very long time. Likewise. Okay. So I'm gonna guess that these doors don't open until later in Drezen's quest. And we can't get up there. Elemental essence, nice though. Cool! Should we be concerned? Maybe. Maybe. Alright, Drezen. Sorry, buddy. But I mean, I'm here on business, so. But I believe that is everything to do here. Goodbye, Heaven's Edge. I'm sure I'll see that place again, given that those doors are locked and have been for a long time. Okay. Well, that's an adventure. I guess we go to Currantglen now. Yes, we will enter this location. Alright. Everybody stretch! We are at the 3-hour mark. So, getting a good stretch in is healthy. And I require liquid. Alright.
Rely on me.
Analepsila. Alrighty. More heavy emotional stuff. This time for Ulbrig. So sorry, bro. But how? Who could have? Ulbrig gazes at the time-ravaged remnants in confusion. I visited here just a month ago. Everyone was alive, but now... Not a month ago, Ulbrig. 100 years have passed. Not that 100 years nonsense again. I don't believe it. It's impossible. This is all fake, an illusion conjured up by Uglins to hide the real village away from prying eyes. Ulbrig's eyes madly dash from one decrepit wreck to another. We must search everything. Find the people, learn where they are being kept, free them. and snap the horns off the puxies that did it. I'm sorry, buddy. The people abandoned their village, but why? Oh, Brick. Fail the check. Okay.
Everything has a price.
Fine, I'll try.
What's that glitter?
Oh, we still don't know. Darn. Wow! Also, I love the fact that it gave me a scroll of sea invisibility. It's almost like it knows we'll need one. I feel a strange disturbance. I do believe that scroll of invisibility will be useful.
Can't hide from me.
Thank you, Len. Alright. See, War Chief? Someone still lives here after all. Must be spirit, and it doesn't look hostile. I'll take your word for it, old rig. This isn't what I expected to see here. I failed the world check. No! It's a repulsive, rotting corpse. Take the corpse down. Failed an athletics check. We take the corpse down but with difficulty. Oh boy. Alas, you do it none too deftly. The body falls and hits the ground noisily. It seems this has attracted someone's attention. Alright. We don't need turn-based mode on for this. This is... We will want turn-based mode later, but we don't need it for now. Everybody just beat on a skeleton. It's fine. Nobody's actually getting injured here.
Cover me, all right?
Wow. Wow, we missed a lot of attacks with our bows, Lan. Okay. That's really all there is here. Okay. Hello there, purple glowy thing. I see you are leading me somewhere. Ghostly shapes flutter in the air. It appears that the spirits of dead Sarkorians are still lingering in this place. What do you want, lost souls? So I just realized my stream manager's glitched. Allow me to fix it. The ghosts just look at you blankly. It seems you will not be getting an answer. What do you think, Ulbrig? Happy lives leave no spirits, that much we know. What exactly a spirit needs, though, is something even experienced shaman can't always work out. Let's take a good look around this place. Maybe we'll find some kind of clue. We shouldn't stop here. Fair enough, War Chief. Let's keep moving. Hello there, Howling Spectre.
Out of my sight!
Get it! Very nice. Okay. Now then. Oh, I hate ambushes even when I know they're coming. Unless, of course, it's not going to give me one this time. I don't.
Another obstacle.
That's what I thought. Okay.
The wrong monster.
Hi there. Also, shoot. Shoot.
You won't survive me.
Okay, Ran, that's your job too. Or Darren. Took a little damage. Okay, everybody's trying very hard to hit to not great effect. I want to try this out. Oh, never mind. Never mind, Darren. It's fine. We got it. I was gonna do something interesting, and then somebody hit their attack. Okay. This used to be a passage leading to another part of the village, but it was destroyed in a landslide.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
That is indeed a trap. Thank you for catching that, Woljif. This building is larger, more solidly built than the rest. It must be the house of an elder or chieftain. Woljif, you have a job!
Pretty good, aren't I?
Thank you. Okay. Let's just cart everybody in here with all our best perception checks and see if...
My tail is twitching.
Thank you.
Must be a sign.
Let's just start with all the perception checks, though. There it is. Good. I think there might be one more. But we may have failed them all. I don't actually know. Full plate +2. Sela! Sela, I have new armor for you! I know there's a cave entrance somewhere in the area, but I don't remember where it is. Sela! How would you like... Oh wait, that's what you already have. Oh, hold on. Is there anybody who can use it? Right, because I'm not playing a martial class this time. That's right. Right. Okay, let me see. Ring. Lets you have more max dexterity, but your dex isn't fantastic anyway. So that's not really gonna matter. However, if I give Woljif a light armor proficiency later, then this could be really good for him. Wow, I'm very unused to... Okay. As a lower armor check penalty, it's... Adamantine's better. Okay.
Smile, the world's not ending just yet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah?
Griffin up. Then, there's a cave somewhere. Wait. It's right there. Okay, it's fine. I'm just blind. My personal perception is not very high.
That's easy.
That's why I need these guys to do the perception checks for me.
Precisely.
Wait, nope, stop.
Don't mind me.
I do believe that a clever soul, yeah. Yeah. Clever soul can get that loot without having to disarm the trap. Still. It's good to disarm them as a matter of course. Okay, nothing fancy, but I mean, we walk in there just to see if any perception checks go off, but well, hello there, restless spirit. Leave. This valley of sorrow and grief is no place for the living. The spirit's voice resonates with pain. Why are you telling me to leave? Leave. It hurts too much to sense life near me. I'll tell you nothing. Please tell me your story. I wondered if that might be the case. Spirit howls terribly. Open your eyes. This place is cursed. There is no saving it. Your life will be snuffed out just like... Go. Okay, I'll go. It's for the best. We won't loot your corpse. I learned that the hard way last run. Oh. Hello, Wolf. Shall we fight a bunch of enchanted weapons? Sheila, why are you already all the way... Why is Sheila here instead of, like, up with all the rest of us? So... Ulbrig's voice is deceptively calm, and only the vein pulsing in his shaved temple betrays his true feelings. He slowly looks around the dungeon, breathes in the fetid air, runs a hand along the wall, and studies the grime clinging to his fingers. So... Did you not know about this place? Of course not. How could I have? I thought it was just a place for storing things. What is this? It's a shrine, War Chief, and not one you would build to honor the gods. See this altar? It wasn't no goat kids they butchered here. Ulbrig clenches and unclenches his fists, his fingers turning into sharp claws for a brief moment. A vile cult of some man-eating filth, right under our feet. What happened here? A slaughter. First the ritual kind, followed by the regular sort. So it wasn't Oglins that put the village to the torch, it was people. They sold themselves out to the Oglins and raised arms against their own. So your kin from this village were worshipping demons? Ulbrich scowls, his gaze roaming between you, the bones scattered on the floor and the blood-streaked altar. In the end, he stubbornly shakes his head. No, I do not believe this. It cannot be. They were my kin. We drank from the same flagon. Surely I would have noticed if they were up to this foul business. If it wasn't your kin who did it, how do you explain what we found? It must have been outsiders of some kind. Heck, maybe they weren't even from Sarkoris. The border's a stone's throw away from here. They came brandishing their cult, killed everyone, and built this rotten thing in the cellar to shift the blame to our people. That's what happened. Well, just you wait, you blaggarts. Ulbrich shakes his fist at the invisible strangers. Did people worship demons in Sarkoris? Folks worshipped all kinds of things. Ulbrich pensively tugs at a lock of red hair. We're not Mendevians. We don't teach others which belief is right. Of course, most stuck to the gods and the spirits of their homeland, but if the otherworldly powers called and you answered, worship Pelura's frozen backside or a puxy on a flying broomstick if you like. Nobody'll bat an eye unless you start pestering others with your faith. There was a big commotion in Sarkoris, as I recall, when that troublemaker Eredin showed up. Back then, some god of crickets or grasshoppers had gained quite the following, can't remember which. Those crackpots minded their own business until that bigwig from Absalon, a living god after all, claimed they were worshipping Oglins. Drove him off, set fire to their shrines. They turfed him out of the country, which was fine by me. He would have started hounding somebody else, mark my words. Eredin waged war on the cult of Discari the Locust Lord, the one we are currently fighting. Did he? So Eredin was right after all? You don't say. And we called him every name under the sun. Ulbrich scratches the back of his head. But no, we must have taken against him for a reason. If that Lord of Weevils was so nasty, why didn't Eredin put an end to him along with his cult? So much for being a living god. He came here, made a mess, didn't finish what he started, and skipped back to Absalom in time for tea. That's no way to do a job now, is it? No, it's not. Pah. Stop denying the obvious. What makes you think anything here's obvious? We're up to our necks in Oglins, demons, fae, angels, and all kinds of things that go bump in the night. You know how fond they are of messing with mortals, don't you? No, you can't trust your eyes. You've got to follow your heart. And my heart is telling me our people would never do something like this. So what are we going to do next? Not much to do, is there? The ones who did this to my kin are long gone. We won't be able to handle it alone. Ulbrich's fingers plunge into his beard. So that's that. This is serious business. We need help. Let's head on up to the Stone of Voices. In an hour, the whole of Sarkoris will know of this slaughter. They won't be able to hide from an entire country. Come on. Ulbrig. Ulbrig. Buddy. Ah, you poor soul. Okay.
Always watch your back.
Now, our magical weaponry's here. It's just like a rusty sword. Axe. Rusty sword. I think there are some fancy weapons in here, but they're the ones you have to fight. Like that one.
The Inheritor, guide my
Get it.
blade.
How about you guys shoot that?
Did you see that?
Hi guys. Stop glitching. It's fine. Corrosive longbow +1. Okay. How does that compare to what we already have? 3 to 15. Corrosive, so it deals some extra acid damage. It's got better damage potential, but a lower minimum damage. I don't know what that says about average damage, though. Oh, and what about compared to what Lan is using? That is better for you. More damage, anyway. Though the entangled effect is kind of nice. That's 5 to 17, whereas I could do this to get 8 to 15. Oh, 8. 17. I don't know. Better damage potential again, but lower minimum. We'll just leave it for now. It might depend on what Aru has access to. There suddenly seems to be a great deal of competition for good bows between me and Lan and Aru. Nice! No pesky earth elementals to be after me. Yes, Ulbrig, we did just disarm some kind of trap. You are absolutely correct. That's why passing perception checks is nice. These things aren't going to try to kill us.
Trap might be treasure. This is my kind of work. Pretty good, aren't I?
Nice. I like fancy lootses. Okay, we're just slow because we're going a short distance instead of a longer one.
If there's gold, it's mine.
Mask of a Rapid Bite. Ooh. This be an Ulbrig item. Hold on. Where'd it go? There it is. Ooh. Ulbrig! I have a thing for you. Do you want it? How about you enjoy that? Also, it makes you look more griffin-y.
Yeah?
When you're in your human form. Okay. We'll do this after. Let's go deal with the Stone of Voices first, I think. Hello, Wolf. Very cute. Yes, the spirit is leading us to the Stone of Voices. You are correct. I'm turning on turn-based mode. And then Ulbrig is going to go up to that in a minute. I want to do some strategic positioning before we get into shenanigans.
Make you feel better.
Right.
Miss me already? Oh, the waiting's never fun.
Oh. Ah! Thank you. Sela, you're gonna go hang out there. Vivian, you're gonna come over here.
Who, me?
Jiff, stay there, and then Ulbrig. Here we go.
There it is, look! The Stone of Voices, and scarcely a mark on it. Now I'll find out what's going on here. I'll call the tribes from all over Sarkoris. They'll see the spirits, and together we'll work out what kind of scoundrel is behind all this. We'll find them, catch them, and rip their head off.
I cannot imitate his voice. I do my best, but I can't. Can't do it. Stretches my DMing abilities too far. Alright. Are you finally going to tell me what the stone is?
I already told you, it's a Stone of Voices. What's unclear about that? Or aren't your ears working? A magic stone. Stones like these can be found all over the country. Druids and other folks who communicate with spirits use these stones to send messages to each other. If there's anyone left alive in all Sarkoris, I'll get an answer through this.
What was that wolf that called us here?
A spirit, most likely, or else someone sent us a vision. I don't know what it means, but it's a good sign. Someone wanted to talk to us, so they called us to the stone. Looks like not everyone in Sarkoris perished after all, huh?
Well, I won't get in your way.
I like to see somebody try.
Nothing happens.
Hold on. Something's not quite right here. Now, let's see.
Frowning, Ulbrich traces his fingers over the runes, but all he manages to elicit is a weak, barely visible shimmer deep in the grooves of the stone's carvings. A minute passes in tense silence, then another. Finally, Ulbrich removes his hand from the stone. Well?
I feel nothing. There's no one there. They're gone. They're all gone. In all of Sarkoris, there's not a single living voice. How can this be? My country is gone. My clan is dead. My god does not speak to me. My time has been and gone 100 years past. Who am I now? Who in the world has need of me now?
Digging his fingers into his mane of red hair, Ulbrich stares unseeing at the lowering sky. What are filthy crusaders seeking here? Have you led these people here to feed them to me? Commendable! Are you the vermin that destroyed the village? Now you're going to pay for everything you've done. And here's the little man with red hair. My master warned me you were dangerous, but to me, you're just a light snack. Your master, who'd that be? So many unnecessary questions. What for? You're never going to need the knowledge. What are you seeking here? My master has sent me to block your path to a place that's off limits to the curious. Who are you? I am your doom. I am the one who will feast on your remains. Just die, scum. How brave. I enjoy killing brave prey.
Let's have fun.
I'm going turn-based for this because this is a tough fight. And it's also a long fight. Is that half-dead pile of fur still baring her teeth? Fine. She won't be able to save you forever. There's like 3 rounds of combat here, I think. Or like 3 waves of baddies. Oh, I chose my positioning so well. Yay me.
Precision and grace.
Nice. Good job making a little space.
Make every strike count. Your performance
is
lacking.
There's more. Good thing I knew they were coming. Hey, ooh. That's bad. One second. I'm going to stick this on the belt, Woljiff. Oh, never mind. You can't do it off your turn. Okay, seal it, heal Woljif. Thank you. And then out of things for this. How about you smite that guy? And now Woljif can bop him. Very nice. Now I can shoot it. Or not, as the case may be. Ow. Oh boy. Oh, Jeff! Ow! Thank you, Ulbrig. Deal with that for now.
I'll make short work of this.
I hope you do. Lan, that's your job. Sir, you only have to roll a 6 to hit her. Thank you. Sela, you're not bopping Woljif. He's an inky boy right now. Ah! 43 seconds. Oof. Okay,
Tactical retreat. No.
Shoot her.
To your corpse. You feel that?
Missed. Haha. Velociraptor does a good job. If you're only on 2 hit points, my friend. Okay, but at least it kind of saved you from the necrophage. That, actually, you know what? There is some providence to that. And that's my Dayrin, not yours. I'm alone. Thank you. Okay, Dayrin.
Out of my sight.
That. Yep. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, no, Dayrin, done. You're done.
You won't survive me.
There's the other succubus, that's right. Ooh. Ooh. But that's bad. We might lose a Dayrin today.
Into the fray.
Your fault.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Your death awaits.
All your fault.
Yeah. Hey, at least you're friendly now? Could be worse. That. Thank you. Dayrin is in slightly better shape now. Actually, no, he's not. Ooh. Hi, sir. Hey, Woljif, you've got 3 hit points again. Aren't you happy?
Endure death.
Yeah. Folks like Fainless who can manage all of their peoples in real time with pause and like do amazing strategies and stuff, that's very impressive. I do not have the processing speed or familiarity with real time with pause to do that.
Cover me.
There we go. No more cause mass wounds. actually have done an okay job of keeping everybody on their feet. I'm rather impressed with myself with the difficulty increase. That's your job again, Darren. Very nice.
Make every strike count.
I just don't want to take attacks of opportunity while he's still weak. It doesn't seem sensible to me. Plan, you had one job. You could have ended the combat right there. And you didn't. Okay. That was a shenanigan. Yes, the stone is silent. Okay. There are more fights ahead. I don't think I've got full restoration yet. That's a much higher level spell slot than I've got. Darren, you might just be in trouble for a minute, but I mean, you're a spellcaster. We always knew you were squishy. Turns out you're more useful as a party healer than you are as an archer, so...
Precisely.
Reach meta magic rod. Aha! Okay, well, Jim, it's right next to you. Thank you. Oh, apparently there's one right there. Yeah.
Stab their backs.
Apparently shadows do have similar properties across both Pathfinder and D&D.
They did.
No, you can't charge. You're low health. Not even gonna...
The light takes you.
You won't survive me.
I'll loot your corpse.
Okay. Oh, there's one more. It's right there. Hello. Where'd you come from?
Time to share your treasures. Precision.
Something is stopping these tormented souls from finding peace. Indeed. Alright. Thanks. Oh, everybody stop!
My tail is restless.
Feel that.
This is my kind of work.
Let's I don't remember. I've done this particular quest like once. If I remember correctly, they got crushed in a cave-in. So these would be all the people who got crushed in the cave-in. But that's all the information I have. Other thing we're gonna do before we head back to go report. So we're gonna knock this tree down to set up our shortcut. Fell the tree. Thank you. And we're gonna go back the way we came in, I think.
Always watch your back.
let's go report back to that one spirit. Hi there, madam. Leave. This valley of sorrow and grief is no place for the living. There's some strange undead in a cave not far from here. Strange undead. That's who we are now. The spirit laughs hoarsely. They're people from my party. A long time ago, I brought my friends here thinking we could cleanse this land of corruption and bring this place back to life. But I was mistaken. We failed to defeat the evil that haunted this place. We were attacked in the night, forced to run for the caves, surrounded like lambs in a pen before the slaughter, and I... The spirit lets out a desperate wail that turns into weeping. My spell brought the ceiling crashing down. It buried my friends underneath. They fought the undead. Now they are undead themselves. The wicked irony that you laid their souls to rest. Now I can go too. And now I can steal your stuff. Thank you. Much appreciated. Alrighty. Let's see what we've got. Does that mean I now have 2 Swarmbane clasps? Fun. No, it doesn't. It's just the one. Interesting. I don't know why it said received Stormbane clasp then. Hi, Will Jiff. You've been a little battered, haven't you? Alrighty. Let's leave this place. And then, it's about 3:30, so we're getting close to the point where it's time to call it. Let's see. Exit. Let's see. Because, I mean, we haven't done Chili Creek. Because we haven't talked to Jurna. But I honestly don't know that I... Well, might be good to do Chili Creek. Ooh, some of us are fatigued. Yeah, we'll rest. That's fine.
What's the alcohol situation underground? Do you have anything to drown your sorrows in?
You bet. Mold brew is a gourmet's dream. And tourists from Absalom used to come to us for our mushroom infusion.
So... just go back to camp. Close for now. Okay. Now we will enter... Love that sometimes you have to do it like that. Okay, now I'll enter. Okay, so I think that's probably about as far as I'm going to go for today. Because we've done quite a bit of questing. I initially was thinking, you know what, we'll get through Leper Smile. We've gotten a bit past that, so that's good. Done one quest I've never done before. Oh. Commander, ever since you came back to camp, Ulbrich hasn't been himself. No wonder after what you found in that village. I think you better check on him. Thanks, Nevia. I'll go talk to him. If there's anybody who can help him right now, it's you. At least they're kind enough to teleport me to him. I think. Yeah. Very kind. War Chief. Ulbrig's eyes are red with tears. He's clutching a giant flask filled with beer. Come sit with me. We'll drink to the memory of my kin. Give him a proper send-off. Let's drink to the memory of the fallen. Ulbrig hands you the flask. The beer smells sweet and pleasant. As black smoke rolled over the fields and the white crane flew over the fields. Having finished another verse of his endless and dismal song, Ulbrig takes a swig from the flask. Then there is Igvi, Ilara's boy, a tiny lad. Only 9 he was. Such a curious boy. He spent his time climbing trees and scouring ditches, looking for nests or funny-looking pebbles. I gave him a little axe with a carved handle. Now that handle is just lying there on the cave floor. I've seen many things in my time, War Chief. I've gone to war, I've led my clan through a plague, through bitter, hungry winters. I've bellowed fellow warriors, friends, loved ones, but in those days after the worst winters there was always spring, and after days of mourning there were newborn babes to name. That's how it always was. And now, this is it. The end. The end. Ulbrig shakes his head. No kin, no clan, no land. My God is silent, even my time, even that is past. I don't think I can even begin to imagine what you're going through right now. But I just want you to know you're not alone. That's what it feels like. Like I'm all alone. Ulbrig stares at you, his eyes red from crying. Tell me, War Chief, who am I now? Who needs me in this world of yours? That's the flirt option, we're not doing that. Don't say that, you're an excellent fighter and a loyal friend. My party needs you. Your party is something, all right. I've never seen a stranger crowd. Oddballs, outcasts, rejects, well, who am I these days? Another outcast. Which means I really am where I belong. You know, I feel better after talking to you. Thanks, War Chief. You've got yourselves one crazy world here, but hey, if there are folks like you around, I'll fit in somehow. After taking one last giant swig, Ulbrig firmly corks the flask. Right then, enough of that for today. When victory is ours, we can honor everyone's memory properly. But it'll take a sober head to win. True enough. True enough. Alright. See? Just Ulbrig. Wait a minute, didn't we just do that part? Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I'm a little confoozled. Yo, Ulbrig, apparently I still need to talk to you. Hi, buddy. How you doing? How? Ulbrig looks lost as he stares at his hands, protracting and retracting his sharp claws. Everyone dead. There's no one left. No one. I just can't wrap my head around it. I'm so sorry. Ulbrig nods wordlessly and lets out a long sigh. Well, tears won't win us the war. How can I help, War Chief? I have to go. But thanks for chatting. Okay. There we go. We can't do that for a while, so I think we can close that up for the moment. Well, we have to talk to the storyteller for that, so probably close that too. Okay, so the next thing to do is to make it to Drezen. That is a significant arc on its own, so we're not going to do that yet. We will take our party to sleep, give him a good rest, sell stuff, and then we'll save there. I've been ruminating on recent events, especially the story of Staunton Vane, and I've come to realize something. Life is the most precious thing we possess, and yet not every form of existence has the right to call itself life. Branching out into philosophy now, I see. Next thing you'll be writing poems, yeah? Okay. And we go sell things. We've dealt with our abyssal corruption issue. We have all our spell slots back. I mean, we already have them all back, but still. It's the principle of the thing. Hello, Will sir. I need to sell you things. A whole bunch of things, I think. Hello. Fancy. Frost falchion +2, huh? I don't think we have anybody in the party who uses a falchion. I mean, I don't get money from selling those, but I don't need them, so I'm not going to keep them. That would be silly. This +2 heavy flail can be safely wielded only by non-good characters. Good character wields this weapon, they come permanently confused even after they unequip it. Interesting. I don't need it. Unholy longsword. It's mostly valuable because it has a fancy tag. Tower shield +2. We'll hang on to that for now. Breastplate +2. We'll hang on to that as well. We don't need the full plate though because we've got full plate +2. Armor. Other armor +1. I only want to sell one of these though. Thanks. Saving that for Ivu in case she can use it. I'm not going to be using meta magic rods. I'm really bad about using my consumables. I just am. For whatever reason, I struggle with it. Sometimes I don't remember that they're there, other times it's just... Nope, we still want that. That's a cooking ingredient. Okay, we have a reasonable amount of money again. If I do this... Okay, and we'll go back in our tent to put our extra stuff in the traveling chest. Also, I should consider how many health potions I'm carrying. Because if I'm not careful, I can very easily carry like 50 pounds of health potions without realizing I'm doing so. Okay. Right. And I think that's everything I set out to do. Can I not swap to the world map whenever I... Apparently not. Okay. So we're gonna call it there for now. Made a lot of progress. We are almost to the 4-hour streaming mark, which is a lot for me. So we are going to save this game, and then we're gonna muck around with raids. Seven. We're gonna muck around with raids, see if we can figure it out. So, I wish I had like a fancy stream end screen, but I don't. Haven't figured that out yet either. I have been doing this for 1 week. Okay, stream manager. Parachute button on the Twitch stream manager website. Ah, parachute button. Okay, this has taken me to the stream browser, so that's useful. Just... Actually, no. Quick filters. Okay. Start raid. Did it work? We're unable... Okay. So what might be the case is my channel might be too young to do a good raid. So... Okay. So we basically just have to wait on raids, it sounds like. Well, thank you all for joining me. It was wonderful hanging out with you guys, and I will see you all next stream. Have a wonderful day, everybody.